Good afternoon and welcome. This is live from the Republic Network studios in Mumbai, and it's a very, very important day for me. It's a tremendously important day for the Republic Media Network. Viewers, just by way of a short introduction, I want to say to you that for the last 2 years, in fact, just under 2 years, in 1 week it's going to be 2 years, we have fought the biggest battle that any news organization in the history of independent India has fought. There has been every attempt to break us. There has been an attempt to bring Republic to a standstill, to somewhere try and make sure that Republic as a network does not survive. Viewers, it will not be an exaggeration to say this, that there has been an attempt to break Republic. And all of this happened because of a gigantic conspiracy between a group of policemen, politicians, bureaucrats, and most unfortunately, players in the news media who consider themselves our rivals. And for the last 2 years, in every possible forum, in every straightforward way, with as direct an approach as possible, I've tried to reach out to you. I've tried to give my counterpoints, and I believe, viewers, been able to convince almost all of you of our innocence. But very often it's not enough for you to say that you're innocent. It is important to get a third-party ratification. Viewers, today I have in my hand 138-page report, viewers. This is a 138-page report of which Republic has received a certified copy. This is a certified copy in the sense that we have gone to the PMLA court, we have applied, and we have got a copy of the final TRP report, ladies and gentlemen. This is an explosive report. It's a very detailed report. It has a lot of evidence. It has witness testimonies. It has data. It has raw data. It has an auditor's report attached with it. It speaks of the real TRP scam. Now, viewers, over the next few hours, I intend to take you through it, and I want you to stay with me, and I want you to help me in putting the contents of the real TRP scam and what is in this report public. And let me tell you why I need your support. Because it is Republic on one side and the entire cabal of the media on the other. The rest of the media considers this report to be an inconvenient truth. Therefore, they want to bury it. They want to hide it. They want to try and make sure that this report somehow does not reach you. And just as much as we try to make sure that this report reaches you, they are trying right now at this very minute to try and make sure that this report is concealed from you. Now, you would ask, why does anyone in the media want to conceal a report that has so much significance for this country? Well, is it because their own names are in it? Possibly. Is it because their friends' names are in it? Possibly. Or is it because there are a lot of people who thought that they would shoot off the shoulders of a very, very corrupt, tainted, disgraced, suspended and now retired policeman called Parambir Singh, and a very questionable and corrupt MVA government of Uddhav Thackeray, that they would get together with them to make sure that their version of the truth would be considered to be the finality. But viewers, only the truth can be final. Half-truths and falsehoods cannot be allowed to disguise themselves as truths. So it is a battle as of this very minute between them who want to make sure this report does not reach you, and us and you on the one side who want access to this report. We are told that the most important thing in Indian democracy is access to information and freedom to access information. Viewers, you have that freedom. You have that right. You must not allow a group of players who consider themselves to be players in the media to act as a wall between you and the truth. And therefore, in order to make sure that today's process is more transparent and more interactive, I'm therefore announcing that I'm going to be opening the phone lines throughout my entire broadcast today. A phone number will be put out. I want to speak to you. Today is a day for me to connect with you, for my team to connect with you. At the end of the day, viewers, you will be able to determine for yourself who was lying and who was on the right side of the truth. You will be able to determine yourself which side was honest and which side was dishonest, which side was white and which side was dark and black, which side was the victim of a conspiracy and who were part of a conspiracy. And that should be apparent to you right now itself, because viewers, I have not done any great investigative journalism to get access to this report. This report is publicly accessible. In fact, I intend to put it out in the public domain. It is publicly accessible. Anyone can access this report. Therefore, today the entire media should have access to this report. I'm told that in social media, a lot of the report is already beginning to come out. And that's the wonderful thing about these days, that eventually nobody can be a wall between you and the truth. And therefore, viewers, I just want to say this to you once again. Please remember the dates, viewers. 1 year, 11 months and 22 days ago. It all started with a very corrupt man called Parambir Singh holding a press conference with a select section of the media, the Lutyens media, and declaring that I was paying you 500 rupees to watch this channel. And he said that Republic should not be the #1 channel, there should be someone else which should be #1. There was a campaign of calumny, a drive to really run down a rising new news media set up, run, organized and managed by a group of professional journalists that was right there at the top. Viewers, remember those pictures out there. He's the man, Parambir Singh. He started it all. We were expanding across languages. We just become the #1 channel in Hindi. We were the #1 channel in English. We had got a large digital media presence, and more than that, we had the popularity of the people of India. Among those who wanted to stop us, used this man, and a police, political, corporate mafia nexus wanted to pull us down. They wanted to really teach us a lesson for dreaming big. They wanted to teach us a lesson for being your voice. They wanted to teach us a lesson for over a decade right now, exposing some of the biggest scams in this country, taking on the biggest convicts in this country, taking on and breaking the biggest financial scams of the country, going into the underbelly of what is wrong for the people of India and using the medium of television to put it in the public domain. Viewers, there are a lot of people who simply wanted to teach us a lesson. And some people have asked me, was it only Parambir or was it Parambir and a lot of others? I say very clearly that in the last decade or so, particularly of my professional life with my journalists, I have taken on a lot of people. And it is entirely possible that a lot of them got together to fix us. But I was saying this myself. I was saying that this was an attempt to fix us. Today I come to you with specific and definite proof that there was an attempt to fix us. And I come to you confidently looking at you eye to eye on television to say this to you. It has been a failure of all those people who thought they would be able to fix us. We have won. This was an attempt to fix us. We are unfixable. There was an attempt to fabricate the truth against us. But that's oxymoronic, because the truth, in a sense, can never be fabricated. It will always remain a fabrication. And therefore, today, viewers, when the truth comes out, I want you to really tell everyone watching this broadcast tonight that on Republic, this afternoon, there is Arnab who's going live with this program. I have always believed that television is a transparent medium. And I believe that you know that I'm trying my level best today to reach out to you. I know, viewers, that it's a weekday. And I know it could be the middle of your working day. I know that you, your loved ones, your friends could be in office, could be working, could be traveling. But I am making a personal request to you today. I'm coming with a personal appeal from me to you, viewers. This is the 27th year of my professional career. I have worked very hard. This is the 17th year in my career as a professional editor of a news organization. And I believe that there was an attempt not to fix me, that there was an attempt to separate me from you. There was an attempt, viewers, to make a divide between you and me. There was an attempt to put a shadow of doubt in your mind about my intentions, about the transparency of the organization which I run with so much pride. And I believe that I have every democratic right to reach out to you and request you to please watch tonight, see what I'm putting out in the public domain, and then determine for yourself in your own way, because you will have your own axiom of right and wrong. You will have your own inferences of what is true and untrue, and you may have your own calculations for deciding what is appropriate and inappropriate. And I know, viewers, at this minute, you are making up your mind. You may not have made up your mind, but at least I say this, viewers, I have the courage and the conviction to face you. I have the transparency to reach out to you. And this afternoon, I'm doing exactly that. Do the others have that courage? Do the others have the conviction? Can the others answer the questions? I also want to say this to you, viewers, there is no malice in my heart. There is no malice in my heart. For those who have committed the cardinal sin of lying about Republic on national television will face their own consequences. But I want to reach out to you. For me, they are irrelevant. They're inconspicuous for me, viewers. You are important. And therefore, I want to begin this broadcast by inviting my three colleagues who have stood like rocks with me. So many have in this organization, viewers. For I am truly blessed today to be in a privileged position where we have 1,200 people and growing part of the Republic Media Network. And we are only answerable to 1.4 billion Indians. And that's how we feel, viewers. So can you please help me connect to the people wherever you are. This is on live streaming. You can tell them, viewers, that Arnab is live, the team is live. Watch us and determine for yourself. Our hashtag today is real TRP scam. For there is no other way of putting it out. The only other appropriate hashtag today would have been truth wins. Viewers, let's begin first by introducing Rhythm, Shravan and Niranjan. You know them all. And I want to just ask them today the significance of the broadcast that we are putting out on television today. Shravan, I want to start with you. The significance of today, the significance of the report, why we are spending almost our entire day on it. Shravan.
Well, exactly as all of you were pointing out, exactly about a year ago, we were taken aback when we were told that we were paying households. Yeah. And all this while, only one thing has worked in this particular newsroom. It's pure passion, conviction. I don't remember a single day when we have exactly spoken about viewership in terms of what happens in households, or what's the system altogether. As journalists, all that matters to us was our stories. One fine afternoon, when Parambir Singh basically decides to take the name of Republic Media Network, all of us were wondering, where does this come from? Within few hours, the truth came out, and truth has a way of coming out, and that's exactly what happened with us also. The name was of another channel. We were fixed. We knew from that day that we will work hard for people, for all of us, all of who is watching us today, that the truth will come out, our stand will be vindicated. And I think so today, that's exactly what has happened. Every charge at the core of this entire investigation, every charge that has been leveled against us has been completely demolished by this particular TRP report.
Absolutely. And you know, Shravan, it's been difficult for us, but I think that very few people get an opportunity to fight a battle like this. And like I had said, Rhythm, to you, on the day when Justice Chandrachud delivered his verdict, which was more than 2 weeks after I was released from jail. Yes. And I had said that day that if I knew that Justice Chandrachud will come out with these observations, I wouldn't mind spending 2 more months in jail. Yes. And I think there's a story. They wanted to prove us to be scamsters.
Yes.
And that was their attempt. Today, the real scamsters stand exposed, don't they, Rhythm? So broadly for you, the significance of today and of this report.
Absolutely. I think this is the day of celebration, but it comes, like you said, Arnab, after 723 days after a man, a corrupt police official, tried to use an army of his officers at his command to ensure that we didn't win. He tried to do everything. He first jailed you. Once he jailed you, after that, he tried to torture and beat the employees.
Yes.
He picked them up, jailed them. Tried to pick up others, they were not there, but again tortured them, tried to summon them, interrogate them. The third thing that he did very, very clearly is he then tried to befriend our enemies, and it was a gleeful moment for all of them. After all this was done, finally, the truth comes out today, because this is a story, Arnab, of your will to survive and the people, 1,000+ Republic family that is trying to ensure that today the truth comes out.
Absolutely. And we showed, Niranjan, time after time after time, The facts don't align with the claims. The facts don't align with the claims. We said there was an attempt to target us, to fabricate us. We have been the subject of innumerable court, police summons, court appearances, the threat of arrest hanging over our heads. And today we have an ultimate report, duly signed, stamped, attested, charge sheet copy, which is submitted to the City Civil Court and the Additional Sessions Judge of Greater Mumbai, which is the designated court for the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So this report is significant, and we fought out these allegations with full faith in the judiciary. What does the final TRP report broadly reveal? If you give me a broad term before we go into details,
Yes.
Niranjan.
Arnab, can I start with an anecdote?
Yeah, please.
You know, we have two studios here in Mumbai. We're broadcasting out of what we call Studio 2. There's a Studio 1. And I still remember that evening, I think it was roughly about 3:58, 3:59. And one of our video journalists behind the cameras here, I think it was Siddharth, and he said, "Sir, ye kya ho raha hai?" And he showed me the news conference of Parambir Singh. And I'll never forget that moment, Arnab, when we looked at the camera and even before Parambir had uttered the word TRP or Republic, these channels had already put out graphics saying Republic TRP scam. So we knew we were fixed. And in the newsroom, the mood today, there were two captions, in fact, some of our colleagues gave us. They said, truth now, and karma today. Truth now and karma today. We will go into great detail, but I think this report is for 1 year, Arnab. For 1 year, there were prime time debates on us.
They were.
They kept throwing documents, WhatsApp chats, and God knows what.
They were.
This is the final evidence, Arnab.
Well, you know, Niranjan, I want to say this. It's not a victory just for us. I now want to address the journalists in the other newsrooms as well. As of this minute, there are journalists in the Republic newsrooms in Kolkata, in Film City, Noida, and here in Mumbai, who are working on this broadcast and are watching this. But if the journalists in the other newsrooms are watching me today, in those newspapers which lied about us, I say to you today, have faith. Your managements tried to fix Republic, not you. I want to say to all the journalists in the other news channels who lied about us, hold on. It may be your editors, it may be your managements which had a grouse against us from whichever narrow perspective they were addressing it. I do not blame you. Today is also your victory. Please hear me loud and clear. Everyone working in the Lutyens news channels, today is your victory. You can hold your head up high, go back to all the people who told you to lie about Republic and say to them that they were wrong and what they did was wrong. And I want you to know in your future career as journalists that this moment will define what happens in the future of the media. So this is not a fight of one newsroom against another. This is a battle for the truth. And I want the journalists of India to know that we fought for you. Whatever your ideological perspectives, biases, prejudices, tilts for who doesn't have an ideology. In fact, people who don't have an ideology are worthless. But this is not about ideology. This is only and only about the truth. Viewers, I'm going to break this report right now in 13 parts, right? 13 parts or 12? 13 parts. It's going to be unlucky 13 for some, lucky for us. And I know that right now hotlines are open. A lot of news channels calling each other, what the hell are we going to do? Calling people, save us. They're going to name us. I say to them, hold on. We don't need to do anything. We just need to read out what's in the report. And I want to say to them, please don't try, stop trying, because nobody can now stop this report from coming out in public domain, for it already has. It already has, viewers. There is nothing to hide anymore about this. So it should be in the public domain, viewers, and completely it will be. Having said that, we shall, and this is the news, we are going to break this after 2 years in 13 parts. Each part will have separate elements of breaking news and separate parts and pages of the report. We will also put out what the data means. We will put out the quotations, and we will ask the appropriate questions. Viewers, as of now, our reporters are live outside Parambir Singh's residence, and we've also sent emails to certain news channels to get their perspective. For we believe that even if what they did was wrong, They must be given an opportunity to answer. In fact, one news channel, we've sent out an email today telling their CEO to come live on my program and to explain that's how transparent we are. That's how the media must function. We must give everyone an opportunity. In fact, we've said to that channel, come live. We will carry you live and unedited. We will carry you live and unedited so that your entire perspective can be carried. That's not the way they operated, but we operate in functioning the right legal way. Viewers, part number 1. Shall we break part number 1 now?
Let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, part number 1 is about the filthy fabrication against Republic, which is exposed by the raw data analyzed by the Enforcement Directorate as well as by BARC. And I want to introduce this by saying from day one the narrative peddled was that the data indicted Republic. Parambir said it, the Lutyens media echoed it, but no one, absolutely nobody showed what this data was. Now for the first time, in the signed, stamped and certified ED report, the final ED report, the data is out in black and white, which means the real TRP data has come out in public now, ladies and gentlemen. Data that was not put out by Lutyens, data that was not even put out in public by BARC, data that showed that all the interested parties tried to suppress has now come out. So the breaking news is, viewers, the real data is out in the public domain, and it shows the filthy fabrication of Parambir Singh and the Uddhav government machinery. The raw data does not, viewers, have a single data point emerging in the 32 households which have been analyzed. None of the households, it is proven, were paid to watch Republic. And in my hand, page 34 of this report, viewers, which I am now going to read from. Page 34 says, some of the statements were contrary to the statement given to the Mumbai police inasmuch as they denied watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. Now this proves that the statements were twisted, the evidence was fabricated to create a completely false case against Republic, and this, in a sense, Shavan, is huge by itself.
Absolutely.
Which means the evidence does not exist. That's the real big news story as of now.
It's zero evidence. In a country of billion, Parambir Singh went to 12 households, forced them, tortured them, got a statement out. ED today says they have gone to 32 households, and the biggest news point here, for the first time, raw data is out. Viewers, what does this mean? This means that not only getting a statement from those very households, 32 households saying, look here, we have not taken a single penny to watch Republic TV. This has been corroborated by the very raw data given by none other than BARC. It is BARC who has given that particular data of those very households to the Enforcement Directorate, and based on
which Parambir never saw, never knew, never tried to investigate. When he did the press conference, he didn't even know. So which means that he carried out a gigantic hoax and turned it against Republic. What this final TRP report explaining the raw data obtained from BARC clearly says, and I quote, said households, and that's going to be on the screen, either did not watch Republic TV or Republic Bharat, or not having substantial viewership of these channels, which means the allegation itself was an absolute HOAX hoax.
The malice begins here, Arnab.
The story begins here.
The malice begins here, viewers, because Parambir Singh thought that he shouldn't go to BARC, because all that he needs to do, pick up a paper, pick up a pen and say that Republic Media Network is guilty. That was his ultimate aim. He never went to BARC, he never asked for the data. And that
so he made Republic a suspect,
without any data.
Almost a convict, without a single iota of evidence.
Yes.
That's the tremendous news point out here, Rhythm.
Yes.
That the raw data from all the households tabulated shows that the average viewership, and that's the news point here, the average viewership for Republics in these households was close to 0.
Yes.
So if I'm paying viewers, let me tell you, I was told that you're paying 500 rupees to make you watch me. Today, those households were not even watching Republic. They were watching some other channels, Fakt Marathi, India Today, Box Cinema, and what all. People were not even watching Republic. So how was Republic made a suspect? How are we told people are watching us by paying money? When you go to the households, the raw data shows they're not even watching Republic.
Yes.
So am I paying people to not watch me? This is absolutely, completely crazy.
And
it's the craziest allegation that could have been made. Rhythm.
Arnab, in fact, you're absolutely right. On the 8th of October, when this press conference was done, there was a 6th October FIR filed by Hansa, which named other channels. Today, when this report is out, on page 40 and page 125, they say panel households denied having taken money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. It says their statements corroborate with the raw data which was maintained by BARC. They then go on to say that in these statements, households denied having paid money to households to watch Republic TV or Republic Bharat. The question that we ask today, viewers, as we are showing on our screens,
it's on your screen, that's it. Let's just show it on the screen,
Yes, that's the raw data that shows, like we were talking, Fakt Marathi has paid 632 householders. That's the impressions. Republic Bharat, 0. Republic TV, 0.
So you see there, viewers, you are seeing very, very clearly that there is in those households where it was told people are watching us, the actual viewership for Republic is 0. BARC had the data, Niranjan. The most shocking fact is BARC had the data. Why did BARC hide this data, which proves there is no evidence against Republic? They could have easily refuted Parambir Singh saying, look here, the raw data says nobody is watching Republic. Viewers, please see those pictures on your screen and ask yourself, what a tremendous conspiracy this has been against Republic. Parambir Singh did not even have the raw data. So the real scam is the hiding of the true data, viewers. If you're watching this tonight, let me explain to you in simple terms. The final TRP report, which I am holding, has corroborated evidence from multiple households, and the evidence is found totally contrary to what the Mumbai police claim, that these households were watching Republic. So the real scam is of the rigging of data. Rather, should I say, it's about the fabrication of data. It is about the fudging of data against Republic. Parambir, I'm asked, why did he not show the raw data? Well, maybe because he knew that the raw data had nothing against Republic. Can you believe it, viewers? A police commissioner has nothing against a channel, knows that the evidence is for the channel, conceals the channel, gives a clean chit to another channel, and arrests the people from this channel. Why didn't BARC speak up when it knew that the true raw data they had proved that Republic wasn't watched in the households that were rigged? We were not even being watched, and we were arrested and summoned and questioned and lied about only to say, you know what, people are watching them because they are paying 500 rupees. Remember, viewers, the extent of the fabrication that you're watching today. If you compare the raw data with the fabrication, the false claims made by this, let me tell you the full extent of the scam. Parambir Singh said, Shawan, that suspicious trends of Republic are observed by BARC. That's what he said. In the press conference, he said, some suspicious trends were noticed by BARC vis-a-vis Republic TV's viewership. On what basis? On what basis did he make those deliberations and those declarations when no such finding has ever been established against Republic if you go by the BARC raw data?
Today, it is clear that he lied. He started his opening statement in that particular press conference where he called his friendly media channels and said that we have a report. That report is from BARC. And then said there is an unusual spike in our viewership, and that unusual spike in our viewership is simply because 12 households, viewers, in the entire country, only 12 households were basically paid by Republic Media Network, and that is the reason why there was an unusual spike. But did he actually go to BARC? Did BARC actually give that particular raw data? Did BARC actually give the raw data of those very 12 households? If they did, then why did they not publish it? Why was it not reflected in a single charge sheet that was filed by the Mumbai police, and not one, multiple charge sheets that have been filed? Question here is, from the word go,
Yeah.
Parambir was lying.
Absolutely, he was lying, and the Lutyens media was saying that the Republic fake campaign has been exposed. They had this nefarious design of some Lutyens media channels to bring down Republic TV by saying Republic fake campaign exposed. They said Republic rigged ratings. I'm asking you today, viewers, I'm sharing this with you. I'm here with you on live television. I'm showing data that the raw data shows that these people were not even watching Republic. The claim was we were paying money to people to watch Republic. Bark, the rating agency's raw data, which means real data. The real data shows the houses did not even watch Republic. They were watching completely other channels. Then why did the then Joint Commissioner of Police, a man called Milind Bharambe, say that he's going to confront Republic with Bark data? I want to ask Mr. Milind Bharambe, if you're watching tonight, Mr. Bharambe, answer this. Parambir is running from me, but Mr. Bharambe, you are still in uniform. Answer this today, Mr. Bharambe. What do you have to say to this? You said you will be investigating in depth and confront Republic with raw data. Well, this is the raw data, and I am confronting you with it, Mr. Bharambe. Answer me. What do you have to say now? Parambir Singh said that the Bark analytical report shows suspicious TRP trends of Republic. That's what he said, right? Right? He said the analytical report which Bark has submitted, in that the name of Republic TV has come up, which is suspicious trends of TRP has been seen. Viewers, I'm telling you, please look at your screens. Look at your screens. That claim has been smashed to smithereens tonight, viewers. Smashed to smithereens. No such finding has been established against Republic after a 2-year investigation and thorough analysis of the raw data, which has been provided by none other than Bark itself. Viewers, should we start opening up the phone lines? This is not even part 1 of our complete expose. Parambir Singh said, Bark gives suspicious TRP trends data on Republic. I am putting out the raw data. The raw data which is part of a 138-page final Enforcement Directorate report on the TRP scam. Now, is there any counter data to this? Rhythm, Niranjan, you're watching this today. Part 1 proves Republic was fixed, but it's only 1 out of 13.
Yes.
It's only 1 out of the 13 right now, Rhythm. It's only building up right now. Should we start opening up the phone lines? I'm told people are already calling. The number, I think we'll put it as part of the grids below so that people know how and where to call us, viewers. Part 2 has more details. We are already getting a lot of SMSs, emails, tweets on the subject, viewers. And Rhythm,
yes,
refer to the page numbers right now.
Sure.
You wave around the page numbers, Rhythm.
Yes.
You have the numbers.
Yes.
Tell me about the page numbers. Yes.
All
Rhythm.
right. So, Arnab, the first part that you spoke about shows that the final TRP report says no evidence by Republic TV. It's on page 40 and page 34 where they are referring to this. 13 parts that we are going to break this down. But the first part, extremely clear where it says this. And if we can actually try and pan this out where it says households either not watched Republic or Republic Bharat or not having substantial viewership, and therefore as per the channels watching in consonance, the relationship managers are under section 50. They are saying households did not watch Republic TV or Republic Bharat, did not even have the substantial viewership of these channels.
Yeah, absolutely, Rhythm, absolutely. Now viewers, when you're watching part 1, keep in mind one thing, that the questions are being asked a lot to Bark and to the Lutyens channels. Elementary common sense, Niranjan, when people were listening to Parambir Singh's press conference, did they ever ask Parambir Singh, Mr. Singh, what is your source? Where is your data? They didn't. They were so excited. You see, Niranjan, they were so excited. They were so happy. They felt we finally fixed Republic. Who wants to go into the details? Let's go to part number 2, which goes into the details of the filthiest fabrication ever. And viewers, I want to now bring you into the extent of the deceit of this particular case, viewers. In the final TRP report, it reveals the level of the deceit that Parambir Singh engaged in by abusing his office and by misleading the public by putting up false charges against Republic. Look at the screen right now, viewers. Page number 80 of the report. What does it say? I have gone through each and every page of this report, each and every alphabet in this report. I have gone through it in absolute and complete detail. It's a 138-page report with thousands in appendices. In page number 80 of the 138 pages, it says, the findings of the probe by the ED are not in consonance with the Mumbai police. Now, what does this mean? It means that the entire Mumbai police investigation was fraudulent and not based on any data. So the question happens, false charges of us bribing the people of India
Yeah.
were put up because of pure malice against Republic. And it goes on to say in page number 81 that the analysis of the viewership pattern shows that the households were watching channels other than Republic. Now I know what the people of the country are asking right now, Shawan, who are these channels? Who are these channels that they were watching? But what it means as of now is that false fiction out of sheer malice was put out to target Republic. These are interesting parts. Maybe you can take us to page number 87 and the others. Shawan, over to you.
So the core of Mumbai Police's investigation, or how it all began, it was all with saying that there are 12 households. So be it, there are 12 households, and these 12 households, according to Parambir Singh, all named Republic TV. And they said that we were paying money to watch them. So what really happens now? Mind you, viewers, the 12 people, 12 households whose statements were recorded by the Mumbai police, their statements were also recorded by the enforcement directorate, and not just 12, over and above. 32 total number as per this particular charge sheet. I'm reading now from page number 87. There are multiple points, but I'll begin with point number 1 because that's the crucial part. And the difference, very important to note, difference between the statement recorded by the Mumbai police and the difference between with the enforcement directorate. Statements that have been recorded by the Mumbai police is not admissible before the court. Statements that have been recorded by the enforcement directorate under section 50 of the PMLA, it is admissible before the court. And what is it that they are saying? And I'm quoting, these households denied having taken money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. Their statement corroborates with the raw data which was maintained independently by BARC.
So that keeps coming up all the time, that the raw data was with BARC.
And this is...
So BARC knew everything.
And if you take a look at it, it's beautifully put out, where they have put out entire sheet.
Yeah, just have a look at that.
One by one. Like they've gone into every household. So what they are doing is they've recorded the statement.
Yeah,
so
you keep speaking, I will point out to those parts.
So that's the list that you have.
Yeah.
List of households, their names have been written.
Yeah.
The very next paragraph, the very next column rather, it talks about these are the data that they have got. The data that they have got, an exact time period. Important to point, exact time period of when they were watching. What time, specific details. It goes into minutiae. It goes into minutiae to tell us exactly who was being watched. And take a look who's being watched.
Yeah.
Not us.
Yeah.
You have in page number 85.
I'll mention it. I'll just, if you can zoom in on this, I will show out here. Viewers, you see, for example, here, you see Shri Arun Shinde is the name mentioned. 25th, the statement recorded is 25th January 2021. And if you see, the person is watching a channel called Fakht Marathi. This is Republic Bharat, 0. Republic TV, 0. You go to the next person's name. These are the people, these are the individuals, viewers, who Parambir Singh said were watching Republic. But if you see the viewership against Republic, 0. This is raw data, viewers. This is as clear as it can get, as transparent as it can get. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch this. Shri, this is unedited data, uneditable data. This is a certified copy. Shri Rashmi Ravinder Gaikwad, statement recorded, February 2021. You see the person is watching Fakht Marathi, Republic TV, Republic Bharat, 0. Are you seeing this, viewers? Just keep coming down. Negligible viewership for Republic TV, Republic Bharat. All the circles I'm putting out here are zeros. Now, what this essentially means is that it was said that we are paying money to people to watch our channel. They were not watching our channel. Look at the level of deceit. And if you are watching this on television, what this tells you is that if corrupt policemen and politicians want, they can fix anyone, anywhere, anytime. And that's what they were doing. In this case, the unfortunate fact is that they had a fair amount of support from the rest of the media, so they could carry on with the falsehoods for long. Viewers, remember, all of this took time to bring in the public domain. If these things do not come out in the public domain, viewers, then you never get to know. We have fought for it. We are a media house. I must say, we have the capacity to fight for the truth, and we waited 2 years and we persevered. But I'm asking you again today, viewers, with all the conviction at my command, and I'm asking you this. We were tough. We did not break. But how many people in this country have the capacity, the will? People have the integrity, people have the wish. But how many people have the resources to fight? Did this not impact us? Look at the data before you, viewers, and I'm telling you, viewers, raise your voice. For there is a whole ecosystem out there which as of this very minute is using the phone lines. They're calling every person they can. Every influential person in this country is getting phone calls. Stop Republic. I'm telling you this, viewers, I'm sharing this with you in confidence. Influential people are being called right now and they're being told, stop Republic, stop Arnab. Don't put the report out. Save us. And I want to tell you, how can you be saved from the truth? And I want to tell you, my brothers and sisters and friends and fellow colleagues in other newsrooms, you must rise in revolt against everyone who is corrupt in your newsroom, and you must always fight for the truth. The truth eventually cannot be fixed. But this data is truly horrifying. When I saw this data, I said, how is it, when there was no data or evidence, that we were falsely prosecuted? And Niranjan, you want to add to that?
Arnab, I want to add one news input. The day Parambir held that news conference, the same evening, we accessed the FIR. There's another news input, Arnab, very interestingly, you will remember. We spoke to one of these alleged households, based on which the FIR was filed. The person in this household, on the phone that day, Shawan, you will remember, said, yes, I was paid to watch India Today. You remember the tape? We recorded a conversation with the person in the household and she said, yes, I was paid. Point number two, the next day, Sachin Vaze and Parambir Singh sent a convoy of police to her house.
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. A convoy of police to her house to ensure that she does not open her mouth again.
To intimidate them.
To intimidate them. And the truth is out in this report. Now my question is, Shawan, I want to ask you one question, and Arnab, in all the fake reports that the Mumbai police filed, was anywhere did they show the BAC raw data?
No, they can't show the BAC raw data. And once again, before I answer that question, I want to tell people, viewers, many people calling us tonight that we are getting the news on social media. How do we reach out? Well, just get in and watch us on live streaming. You even don't have our app downloaded. You can just go on to Republic World and you can get our live stream. Please follow us on live stream. Please follow us on social media. And you can follow us on YouTube if you want, because there's a lot of viewership there. A lot of people can access us there. Viewers, I also want to tell you, I'll open up the phone lines. People saying they want to call us. The numbers they are saying are not reachable right now. Can we just put the numbers on the grid right now immediately? Also, we're not getting I think one of our screens is jammed out here in the newsroom. If that can be fixed, please, so that we can get our access to our numbers and the phone lines and we can talk to you. Viewers, I want to tell you that the fixing of Republic is telling the story of how the common people in this country have been repressed and subjugated people despite their innocence. So this is not about Republic. This is about you. It's about the citizens of India, and this fight back is of yours, viewers. And I want to tell you, viewers, as of this very minute, I'm going to put out, I'm requesting our digital streams, our digital colleagues to put the entire report on republicworld.com, because a lot of people are saying they want the access to the report, and we've decided right now to put the access to the report in the public domain, because there should be no filtering between the truth and the people of this country. This is the biggest vindication for people. I want to bring your attention, viewers, to page number 87. Massive disclosure which is coming up here, which puts on record that the relationship managers were not bribed by Republic. It says, and I quote, it says, quote, Abhishek Kolawade. It says Abhishek Kolawade has categorically stated, the graphic, that he has not paid the RMs for increasing the viewership of Republic TV. Parambir's claim was this, that this man is saying that he has paid the relationship managers of Hansa for increasing the viewership of Republic TV. This is a statement under 164 before the ED, a PMLA court, which has a lot of legal sanctity. Is this also not a massive vindication for all the employees of Republic who were harassed and coerced by the Parambir Vaze lobby? Shawan.
Absolutely, because what happened was, so they started with this fake FIR to begin with. So what happens is that the moment you do, you need to build up your entire case. How do you do that? You constantly try and fake almost everything, every evidence that you do. So in this particular case, one fine day, they come up and they say that they were carrying out searches. And in the searches, they said that we have found massive recovery, cash that was recovered from this gentleman called Abhishek Kolawade.
Yeah.
That very evening, I'm given to understand, the Lutyens media was called to the office of the Joint Commissioner of Police as well as Sachin Waze's office, and they said that we have received 13 lakh rupees. That is the amount in cash, and they said that they got it from none other than our own office, saying it was Ghanshyam Singh. Ghanshyam Singh, who was arrested, beaten up. The money was recovered from his residence. Now, what is it that the Enforcement Directorate is saying? And I am quoting from page number 87, in which they say, statement of Abhishek Kolawade and Ghanshyam Singh regarding Republic was taken. And they stated that they have neither interacted with each other nor have known each other. Abhishek has categorically stated that he has not paid the RMs for increasing viewership of Republic TV. And on a lighter note, Arnab, every time a recovery is done by any agency, every agency wants to show it. Okay, I have recovered, this is the amount. We want to ask this question: if you had actually recovered any cash, why did you not show it to the entire public?
Absolutely. Now I'm coming to a very important part, viewers, which is page number 87, which is incredible, which says no financial trail. No financial/fund trail so far to connect payment of monies by Republic. The final TRP report, page number 87, says no financial fund trail so far to connect any payment of monies by Republic to these persons. Viewers, I always knew this, we know the truth, but it's good to see it on print. It's good to see someone write this. This means that all the threats of Parambir Singh, he was threatening, making vacuous claims, he's going to freeze our funds, he says, I'm going to freeze their bank accounts, was all false. 100% malice out there, viewers. And this is exciting because the entire report, people are really happy. They're saying, we're happy that you're putting the entire report. Viewers, without any comments, my comments reserved. I just want to tell you, viewers, when I look back at this, I think about the 26 days in jail spent by my colleague Ghanshyam, the 12 nights in jail that I spent, and I say, I mean, how can this be allowed to happen in this country? People are calling us, the level of fabrication. I also want to take you to page number 87 to 88, which says, the allegation of the Mumbai police of 13 lakhs in cash. They said that Republic paid money, 13 lakhs of our money was found in the home of a person called, or a locker of Abhishek Kolawade, which is allegedly money received by him from Republic. It says no corroboration of the Mumbai police allegation of 13 lakhs was found in the investigation and money trail from bank accounts. This means that what the Uddhav government wanted was that they could have gone to anybody's house and said that money is given to you by Republic as a bribe. This is how brazen it got at one specific point of time. Yes. They were basically in a point of time so desperate that they wanted to say that we can just take and show the money from anyone, go to anyone's house, any citizen's house. They could have gone in and said, listen, you took a bribe from Republic. This is how brazen it got. Today, page number 87 and 88, viewers, shows that was also a fabrication. And I want to tell you, not even 10% of the full report has come out so far. Complete and total vindication. Rhythm, we're getting a lot of calls. Are the calls? I think we should line up some calls because a lot of people are calling right now. They want to desperately reach out to us. Some of our experts will also be waiting to comment on this report. It's 12:50.
Yes.
And the final TRP report also says, page number 89. You want to point out to page number 89, Rhythm?
Yes.
In page number 89, what it says that there is no evidence in this whole allegation of bribing. You want to go to page number 89, point number 7, very, very significant. You want to read out from that, Rhythm?
Sure. So, Arnab, in this particular point, they have said there is no evidence to indicate the role of Republic in holding the householders. Like Shavan started off by talking, the entire thing that was said by Parambir was based on householders. They are saying now, Abhishek Kolawade says, I have never met Ghanshyam Singh. I have never known Ghanshyam Singh, and there is no record of this 10 lakhs that has been found here. How they have it, I don't know. So we also remember, and a bigger question that we ask is, was the Mumbai Parambir-led investigation at that time fabricating evidence which was not even there?
Yeah. Absolutely, totally fabricating evidence. You see, what was happening was the TRP report brings out proof. It says there is no evidence to indicate the role of Republic in bribing the households. What was the basic charge against us, viewers? What was the basic, essential charge against us? Why were we told that you are frauds, you will be arrested, your funds will be frozen, we will break you down? Because, and why was my colleague Ghanshyam taken and treated like he's a terrorist, viewers? You see, this could be any one of you. Any one of us, any citizen of India can be treated like this, which is why I'll keep those pictures on the screen. I look at those pictures, and even today, even today, I shudder to think about the possibilities. There was an attempt to torture him, and viewers, let me also tell you this, they could have gone to any extent. They could have eliminated our people. They were so desperate at that point of time. And these are murderers, people like Sachin Vaze. And this man, ladies and gentlemen, this man on your screen, Sachin Vaze, the pictures on the screen, this man is the man who was behind it all. This is the man who thought it all. This man was the main conspirator. This man was the dirty mind. This man who was later being proven to be an accused in murder. A person who has killed someone. That is the man who went after me, went after Ghanshyam, went after the entire Republic network, ladies and gentlemen. And today, when we are bringing the report to you, all of them are running and hiding. And I'd like to go live at some point of time to outside Parambir Singh's house where reporters are there. And I'm told that Parambir Singh is not talking. He's running. At every point of time, he's running, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm putting out information out here which proves that the fraud charge has been caught. I think we're going to have to open up to phone lines and callers very, very soon, because too many people are telling me they're desperate to reach out to us. Ladies and gentlemen, we filed affidavits. We filed affidavits of his torture in the Bombay High Court. Ghanshyam was taken to a room dressed with torture tools. You know exactly what happened with him. It was really, really horrible. And we're getting colleagues as well from outside. We're getting Swapnil Kothari joining us live right now, well-known Mumbai-based lawyer. We have Savio Rodriguez. Savio is with us. Savio's actually got the full report. And I think Savio is also uploading the full report. Are you uploading it? Are you uploading it as well, Savio? Savio?
Yes.
Are you uploading it as well? Hi.
Absolutely, Arnab. The world.
Yeah. Yes, Savio.
Hi. So, absolutely, Arnab. The country and the world needs to know what corrupt politicians, corrupt police, and corrupt media can do to a channel that has been working on the truth. This is nothing but a conspiracy against the Republic and journalists who pursue the truth. And it is an example. It's an example that the people of India must look at as how our channel, how our publications can actually be targeted when they chase the truth. And therefore the report is being put out. It will
Absolutely.
He's back.
I mean, it is shocking, Arnab. It is shocking. I mean, I can understand you have competition as far as business is concerned, and that happens all over in different sectors.
Yeah.
But this level of viciousness, this level of conspiracy,
please.
this level of targeting the thousands of people who work on Republic to crush it down, is deplorable. It is sick.
Absolutely.
At the core of it, it's absolutely sick.
Yeah, absolutely. I am looking at the report. Swapnil Kothari is walking in right now to our newsroom. Our friend Sushil Pandit is joining us today from London. You know, people are talking about this across the whole world. This is already trending right now. And I haven't even put out 10% yet. But you know, what happens is nationalist media, there's an attempt to crush anything that is a nationalist streak in this country. The nationalist media and the Mumbai police went all out to blame us for TRP manipulation. They said that we were rigging our ratings, that we were TRP fraudsters. But this fake charge of conspiracy is undone today because the Enforcement Directorate, and they've done a very, very detailed report on this, and we have General Bakshi also lined up with us. The Enforcement Directorate, 138-page report, and they're the ones who have actually accessed the raw data. The raw data says there is no question of any fabrication in this case. No question at all. So it's astounding. For 2 years, you've created a case out of nothing. If this can be done to Republic, what does it mean for the criminal justice system in our country? Sushil.
Arnab,
yes, Sushil.
This is incredible, but I think your viewers need to know how this process works for them to realize what an idiotic expedition Mumbai police was into. Generally, what happens is viewership estimates are projected on a sample of viewers, and that sample is kept secret. That sample is confidential. These sample households who are supposed to give their viewership patterns are only known to relationship managers who collect that sample electronically from them. Now somebody has breached this confidentiality of sample households.
Correct.
Somebody has paid relationship managers to pay the households. Which means there is a long food chain of corruption.
Absolutely.
And there are people involved in it.
Absolutely.
Those who have breached the confidentiality.
Yes, and channels have.
Mumbai police did not know.
And channels have.
There is something called raw data
They have.
which is inviolable.
They have, Sushil, they have. But the fact is that some of these channels went on to say, Swapnil, that households were bribed only to watch Republic TV. They said households were bribed to watch only Republic TV. They said Republic TV fixed viewership. They said we bribed the people of India. From Chennai to Guwahati, they said we were bribing the people of India. The truth today, there is a categorical statement in the document which says households deny having taken a single iota of money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. I mean, I am astounded today. Even if 1 out of the 32 homes had said, oh, we were bribed. If 1 out of the 34 homes had said, we took 1 rupee or 1 naya paisa from Republic, I can understand you can concoct a case. But here there is not even that. Swapnil, this is, for what does it mean for you as a lawyer, as someone who operates in the courts on a daily basis?
It is because the
Arnab,
raw data
this is extremely
inviolable.
astounding.
Yes.
It is not only astounding but shameful and disgusting.
Yeah.
First of all, for all the legal fraternity and the people that I have spoken to in my fraternity and also my friends and colleagues, they always joke around and say that it's we who need to bribe Republic TV to let us watch them and not the other way around. The other thing is that as far as the TRP scam is concerned, it was completely concocted, fabricated. Apart from blaming the players that were involved in this, my first blame will go to somebody who did not speak but who kept silent. That is Bark. When Bark knew that all this was being bandied around, Bark should have come out and said that, sorry, this is not the channel. We named other channels. We've provided raw data about other channels. That's what the channels that you've named. And also when I was looking through the report, it was there on, I think, page 81 or 82 where it begins. It starts talking about the raw data aspect. And then as far as, you know, it goes on to say that this is the raw data and not a single place is any of the Republic TV channel mentioned. Not a single place, Arnab.
Yes.
It is very clear that all the other channels that have been mentioned and people have gone to categorically state that Republic has not paid us anything. The relationship managers have denied. And as a lawyer, I can say that under section 50 of the PMLA, these statements are admissible in a court of law as opposed to statements made before a police officer or statements made by a police officer before the public, which are absolutely admissible in the courts of public opinion. And let me tell to the judiciary and to everybody at large that this is a court of public opinion. These are not kangaroo courts. These are courts of public opinion which assist today in playing a great role in democracy and in upholding the democracy, which so very much gets tenuous at times, especially with scams of this nature, where a free press, Arnab, was completely tried to be vandalized, if I may say so, and its wings were being clipped only to show that wings have gone larger, bigger, and that they are soaring higher.
Absolutely. I want to go to GD Bakshi, who's watching this as well, viewers. I want to tell all our viewers that in 5 minutes we are going to refer to a very, very important part of the report where a news channel's name has come out. And a news channel whose name has not come out very prominently so far.
Not so far.
But a news channel's name has come out. A link's been established. We need to talk about that. We're going to report on that, viewers. That's 5 minutes from now. General Bakshi is also with us today, forever standing with Republic for the truth. General Bakshi, here we have information that the raw data shows that there was no fixing, no money paid, no fabrication, nobody got a 1 single rupee. All data of 2 years, the raw data from Bark has been analyzed. And today, therefore, what we have is a complete story of fabrication, no financial trail, a false story that has been put out here. The findings of the ED probe show that nobody ever got a single naya paisa for watching Republic, and everybody in the country knows about this filthy fabrication right now. You know that this has been part of what has been put out in the public domain by so many people in the media. This becomes a case of state-sponsored cheating. This becomes a case of criminal intimidation. This becomes a case of, if I were to say, General Bakshi, malicious prosecution, isn't it?
You know, Arnab, there is a very nice saying, Chinese saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. You know, the 2 zeros that you flashed
Yeah.
for Republic in the Bark report, you know, they, I think, are the most eloquent testimony. India discovered the zero, you know, the cipher, and 2 zeros where Republic's name was concerned in the Bark report is the most telling indictment, in the most telling piece of evidence. You know, don't tell us, show us. Show that 0 to the public of India again and again and again. Number one. Number two, Arnab, we have lived through a very dark phase. There was an assault on the freedom of the press. And the press, instead of sticking together, instead of standing up for principle, instead of standing up for a national hallowed institution without which democracy cannot function for a single day, they ganged up with those who were assaulting the freedom of the press. You know, in the very earthy, pithy language of UP, you know, they say, Nai se na nai let, dhobi na dhulai let. You know, a barber doesn't charge another barber for his haircut, and a dhobi doesn't charge another dhobi for the haircut. At least on that, you know, ancient Indian village principle, they should have stuck by you.
Well, you know, but you know how it is. Everybody looks at the opportunity for themselves, and I agree with you. The problem has been, General Bakshi, the problem has been that everybody has looked at it in terms of their self-interest, corporate interest, financial interest, perhaps. I have a few callers calling in. In fact, I have a lot of callers taking in right now. I think I have with me our first caller, Indra Sukumar, is calling in from Chennai. We are only on part 2 of 13 parts. Indra, can you hear me? Okay, we lost the line there, so it's building up right now. I mean, we are under pressure to put out part 3. Should we go on to part 3 or take a couple of callers right now? Viewers. Okay, we are going to dial up a lot of callers. Too many calls coming in already. Viewers, I go to a very important part 3 of the report. I want to come to a very important part of the report. You can say it's a clincher. The details are only just now being circulated in the media. Details that were buried for 2 whole years. And ladies and gentlemen, today in the signed, stamped and duly attested and accessed final TRP report, it names a channel that was actually probed by the vigilance teams of Bark. And viewers, this report names Times Now not once, not twice, but 101 times.
101.
101 times.
Yes.
Times Now is referred to 101 times. The whole castle of deceit and lies must come down. And viewers, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I do need to put out the facts. What I shall be doing is faithfully reproducing the words of the Enforcement Directorate and the findings of the Enforcement Directorate in this case, and I shall go slowly through all the information and all the references as far as Times Now is concerned, because after all, you know, your heart breaks when you see something like this, because I founded that channel. Nevertheless, we shall only go by the facts and not pass any subjective assessments of our own. I want to tell you, viewers, that in page number 106 of the TRP report, it names Times Now, and it says that there are video recordings of certain households indulging in malpractices with reference to Times Now, and that show causes had been issued to them. Where is that video evidence? Why is it not surfaced in public till date? Does Bark have it? I'm sure it has. Did Bark share it with the Enforcement Directorate? I'm told it didn't. Why did Parambir Singh not refer to it? I don't know. But if you go to page number 110 of the final TRP report, it says that Bark has reported that they had received several complaints regarding certain households that are being paid money for watching the Times Now channel. Unbelievable. that they are being paid money for watching the Times Now channel. When the BARC vigilance team reportedly recorded the video of these households and showed them to Times Now and shared them to Times Now. So there are only two parties who would probably have access to these videos. One would be Times Now and one would be the BARC. It's impossible that they would disappear. These are important recordings. Did BARC share this with the Enforcement Directorate? Did BARC give a free pass to Times Now? On what basis? Was it their subjective opinion? And is that subjective opinion a final opinion? Or do the complaints need to be thoroughly investigated? Now, viewers, the Enforcement Directorate says that there is a further investigation into this matter which is under progress. And therefore, that becomes important as well. The ED says that it is in the process of investigating this. So this alleged malpractice by Times Now is under investigation of the Enforcement Directorate. It says, and I quote page number 110, further, BARC has also reported that they had received several complaints regarding certain households that they are being paid money for watching the Times Now channel. And it is learnt that the BARC vigilance team recorded videos of these households saying that they are being paid for watching the Times Now channel. Further, BARC was requested to provide the said video through emails. However, the same has not been provided to yet. Further investigation in this regard is under progress. This is very significant. Very, very significant. Viewers, this is unadulterated truth. This is pure facts. And the facts have to be put out in the public domain. And I want to tell you, viewers, that Rhythm, you've actually written to Times Now for this. What can you share details of this?
Yes, as you were speaking, Arnab, I was trying to see, we've written to a senior authorized representative of Times Now.
Yes, you have.
And there is absolutely no response for them.
Yes.
As responsible journalists, unlike what they were doing when there were questions being raised on us, we are putting forward exact words in the report. We are not putting out any sort of spin to it. And we've also requested them to come forward and answer what happened. If they can't, they can send some person to our channel, an authoritative representative. So they need to answer, because this is very significant. If there are 3 households who were approached by Times Now, as is stated in this report, alleged by BARC, then why has that BARC data not been given out to the Enforcement Directorate? And that's the question that they need to answer. Even as this report has been put out, it came out on the 8th of September, there is a very clear mention in this that further investigation is under progress. And this is for what? This is, they need to be properly investigated, because there are video recordings of households indulging in malpractices with respect to Times Now. And Swapnil, Niranjan, the bigger picture, Arnab, really is they need to come out and answer these charges that are there in the ED report.
Yes, and the ED has said that this needs to be properly investigated. So I do not understand, Shawan, why the BARC is not providing the ED with the information related to the specific investigation on Times Now and the videos thereof.
Well, in fact, I would say this is malice part 2.
Yes.
It started with Milind Bharambe.
Yes.
He did a press conference. In that press conference, he said that Times Now is #1 channel. And he said Republic was manipulating it because of the influence that they had in BARC.
You are correct.
So it was based on what?
Pure subjectivity?
They said it was some audit. It was auditing them. Now, this, what you have read out, Arnab, is part of what the Enforcement Directorate is saying.
Yes.
Conclusions of the examination of forensic audit. Now, viewers, what is important to note here is that the Enforcement Directorate has gone a step further. They appointed an auditor to basically look into the allegations that were leveled by the Mumbai police, by the auditor brought in by the Mumbai police. Here they make a mention of all the findings that have been made by the Mumbai police's auditor. It turns out crucial, very crucial data was not given. And the crucial data is about
Why would it not be given? I find it unfathomable
just to explain
that if this is such critical data, why it would not be shared. And I feel quite upset that the ED has to actually put out there that we asked for the data, but BARC did not provide the same.
Absolutely.
Does BARC have the choice or the liberty to conceal data from an investigating agency. And because obviously the ED is aware that this data is critical, they are saying that there are certain irregularities vis-a-vis Times Now which need to be properly investigated. So they've kept the matter open.
Well, in the course of the day, I think so, Arnab, this part, what you're basically referring to, will elaborate it, because they've gone into extreme lengths to try and explain what they have found. Because they're saying that there was vigilance inputs. This is part of BARC's mechanism, where they're trying to look into whether there are malpractices or not. Now, according to BARC and what is exactly written here, in fact, they've quoted the head vigilance investigations of BARC statement that has been recorded under section 50, just taking on from the part that you mentioned, 105, page number 105, in which, and I'm quoting once again, this statement recorded under section 50 of the PMLA. It is BARC official who's saying, and I'm quoting, stated that on the basis of inputs received from data science team, they had initiated field investigation. It's page number 105.
And we are getting too many calls now, Shravan, I can tell you this. Phone lines are exploding as of this minute. People are watching, and you know, I'll go to our callers in a minute. But Shravan, yes, please, which page number?
So it's page number 105. It comes under the conclusions of the examination of forensic audit report, and this is what ED is saying. ED is saying, quoting from the statements that they have been recorded, that there was field investigation against Bennett Coleman and company, Times Now, and field investigation confirmed some homes were allegedly approached by the channel to watch their channel. This investigation was undertaken in July 2017. After the investigation, there was another investigation based on the inputs from data services in November 2015, where the alleged influence was reconfirmed. Further analysis of data, Times Now vis-a-vis other English news channels showed unusual spike in the viewership of Times Now. So Mr. Milind Bharambe, who said that there was unusual spike in the viewership of Republic TV, the reality here being that there is another channel, and this is not just what the Enforcement Directorate says in its investigation, it is BARC. It is BARC who have made this admission before the Enforcement Directorate.
This becomes an extremely critical input, Rhythm and Niranjan, because, you know, the BARC has a system whereby if it suspects that there's something wrong with the channel's viewership, it has, you know, it applies controls. We'll come to that later. What is coming across here is that the head of vigilance of the Broadcast Audience Research Council, or BARC, has recorded statement under section 50 of the PMLA, which is admissible evidence and incontrovertible evidence, which would apply to any further legal proceedings in this case, where he says that inter alia stated that on the basis of inputs received from the data science team, they had a field investigation against Bennett Coleman and Company, brackets Times Now, and the field investigation confirmed that some homes were allegedly approached by the channel to watch their channel. They also give the date of the investigation as July 2017, and they say that after the investigation, there was another investigation based on further inputs from the data services team in November 2017, where the alleged influence was reconfirmed. What this means, and it says that the analysis of the data of Times Now vis-a-vis another English news channel showed unusual spike in the viewership of Times Now. What this essentially means, therefore, is that there was anecdotal evidence, it was verified evidence, there was video recording, there was field investigation, and there was corroboration with the raw data. And when all of this was put together, this was reconfirmed that there is something really hanky-panky going on in this particular case. So it's not that BARC can now, after having reconfirmed the information, give a clean sheet. BARC is in therefore no justifiable position to be giving a clean sheet. But they should be sharing the information with the Enforcement Directorate. The non-sharing of information is something which is not appropriate in my view. What do you think, Swapnil?
Arnab, it's very clear.
It's a serious matter.
It's a very serious matter. BARC was up to some mischief, in my opinion, if it concealed certain critical information. Now, the key point that you've raised when you read this out was, and it strikes me, it's no coincidence according to me, that it's the latter half of 2017. Arnab Goswami starts Republic on May 6, 2017.
Correct.
July 17 onwards, the ratings start getting a little bit skewed here and there of other channels where these allegations are being made by BARC. The investigation somehow seems to get frozen midway, somewhere halfway, and even when Republic Channel is named on 8th October 2020, there is a deafening silence as far as the actual raw data is concerned. So Arnab, my question is that the Enforcement Directorate is fully empowered
Yeah.
to say that yes,
Why
we
can't
ask
they
for the
demand- Why can't
information.
they demand the information?
Right, exactly. That's the point that I wanted
should
to
be
come
demanding
across.
them.
They should be demanding, they should be forcing, they've got all the rights to do so. If the channel seeks to conceal any channel for
What
that
if they
matter.
say the videos are misplaced?
Yes, absolutely. I don't think that they are misplaced. I think they're being withheld. That's a very clear indication, Arnab. And I think Enforcement Directorate has got all the powers. And I'm happy about one thing. If you notice the last few pages of the report, which I have gone through, especially in the prayer section, they're saying that we have got all the rights to file a supplementary report pursuant to certain further investigations.
Sure.
So certain channels could be named thereafter, even pursuant to an appropriate
So they have
investigation.
not come to a conclusion on this matter regarding Times Now. We are placing it here, and unlike them, I place the facts on the table. I'm not saying that Times Now has been found guilty, but
Right.
I'm saying that there is certain information which has come out. And we don't use subjective assessments. We're very accurate when it comes to things like this. After
And
all,
Arnab, I will
we
always
must be
blame-
clear about one thing.
Right.
We
Arnab,
must be with the truth.
One point.
We
Arnab,
must be with the truth.
Right, absolutely. And Arnab, one point. BARC needs to come out and
Absolutely.
cooperate with the investigating agency. It is the head of the body, head of your TRP body or whatever you want to call it. Hansa report
As of
supplies
today.
barometers. And if you notice, in one of the parts of the report, it clearly says that the barometers
Yeah.
never indicated
Please
that
put
Republic Channel was named at all in those things. So these things need to be investigated thoroughly. BARC needs to be investigated by the Enforcement Directorate first and then any other channel, because that is the governing body.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to tell you, viewers, since I'm on a simple and very important matter, I'm with full focus putting this out. Page 110, viewers. Please understand, I want to go through the facts, and I say once again that it causes me discomfort to put this matter in public domain, for I do not look at this as proving anyone wrong, but these are facts, and we are duty bound to share the facts with us, and so should Times Now. And we have given a full opportunity to Times Now to actually come and speak on our channel. Even if they call us now and they know our numbers, we shall put them on air. We shall put them on air. Times Now has to answer on the irregularities mentioned in the final TRP report. The final TRP report of the ED says certain irregularities vis-a-vis Times Now which need to be properly investigated. I truly hope that these are investigated. Why is BARC not giving the data on Times Now? The final report on page 110 says BARC was requested to provide the said video through email. However, the same has not been provided yet. Why has BARC not shared the data collected by its own vigilance committee on Times Now? What is there to hide? And how can an esteemed organization like BARC simply lose out such critical data? And why is BARC not providing the data with regard to the landing pages? And it's so important. Page 106 of the report says the raw data for 2017 was sought from BARC to evaluate and analyze the effects of landing pages on ratings. However, BARC was unable to provide the same. Why is BARC not providing the ED with information related to Times Now's investigation? And Times Now must talk about it, and they lost no opportunity to attack us, vilify us, use really, really terrible language, basing their so-called reporting on BARC data. Today, they've all gone silent today, and they are blacking out the TRP scam coverage and the evil design of the Mumbai police and the Uddhav government to fix Republic. But will they talk about how their findings have come to a naught today? They said, Times Now said, BARC has found certain suspicions as far as Republic is concerned. Where are they today? They must cover. I call upon Times Now to appropriately and neutrally, like we are, cover page 106 of the final TRP report, which mentions that there's an ongoing investigation against their very channel, viewers. And they said that they have proof of the TRP scam, but they're not covering the TRP report or the video evidence that was put against them. We want to know the video evidence, and in fact, it would be wonderful, it would be absolutely fabulous if Times Now were to upload the video evidence, like we are uploading the TRP report. In fact, that would be so wonderful if Times Now were to do that. Will they do that, viewers? I'm not sure. I can't guide them anymore, though I did launch the channel with all my hard work and effort in 2006, ladies and gentlemen. But they are unreachable. We have sent them an email. They're not responded to us. Have they responded to you yet?
Arnab,
Rhythm?
they haven't.
They haven't responded to you yet.
No,
At what time did you send them an email?
It was at around, I'll just tell you. I'll just give you the exact time so
Yes,
that we
please,
can be
Rhythm.
very
Yes.
certain.
Yes.
At 10:40 a.m. an email was sent to them. There is no reply or no formal reply to
No
it.
reply from them?
Absolutely.
3 hours have passed
Yes.
since you sent Times Now an email?
Absolutely.
That's terrible. That's bad form. I mean, they're a news channel. They must respond quicker. And of course, if they respond to us, we will put it on air completely. I have 2 more callers right now, but before I'd like to go to our guest, please, right now, who are live with us.
Savio and General.
Savio is with us. Savio, you're listening to this? Savio, listening to this, should I go to the next part, Savio? Any
Absolutely.
comments on what we've
Yes,
been
I'm
through?
there.
Any comments so far on what you've heard? Savio, this is quite,
Well-
it's quite...
Well, I
Quite-
think it's within ED's. I think it's within ED's rights to demand from BARC the data which they have not provided. Nobody is insinuating anything against any television channels.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what is coming out in the report is very clear that certain television channels that were not mentioned by Parambir deliberately are really the ones in the TRP scam that need to be investigated, and the investigating authority needs to get to the bottom of it. Organizations and bodies like BARC need to be transparent. It is clearly evident that BARC has not given the data that was required either coercively or intently. The point is the entire investigation against Republic TV was based on false data that would have been provided by BARC or could have been manipulated by the investigative authorities at that point of time.
Truly, and viewers, the truth is out now. In part 4, which we are reading the allegations of Times Now, we are now going to start revealing the parts of the report wherein the ED has itself analyzed the time period of allegations against Times Now with raw data sourced from BARC. And they've debunked the narrative which has been floated so far. This is absolutely, exceptional work by the ED. What they have done is that they've looked at the time period of the allegations against Times Now. They've looked at the allegations on Times Now. They've looked at the reports of the evidence against Times Now or complaints about Times Now. And what they've done is they have sort of analyzed it vis-a-vis the time period and looked at the raw data and said, what are we looking at, viewers? So we can move on to page 107. In page 107, it says, very importantly, that from a plain reading of these show cause notices and replies therein, it is apparent that there were 3 video clips of panel households, wherein the panel households were supposedly indicating malpractices on the viewing of Times Now. In this part, page 107, it also mentions there was further raw data analysis which showed abnormal increasing time spent in watching Times Now vis-a-vis other English news channels. The ED says clearly out here, viewers, and the next part is the time period. Their words are interesting. They say the time period of this alleged malfeasance on the part of Times Now. These are the words of the ED, viewers. They talk of alleged malfeasance, very strong words by the ED, not my words. They say the time period of the alleged malfeasance on the part of Times Now coincides with the very period taken in the BARC audit report. In this regard, it may also be added that the viewership of English news channels is very limited, and even few compromised households can increase TRP manifold. What does this mean? This means, viewers, simply put, that the Enforcement Directorate has done some very, very detailed work. They have gone so far as to analyze the time period of allegations against Times Now, corroborated that with the raw data sourced from BARC, and only then spoken about alleged malfeasance. And so essentially what this means is that the Enforcement Directorate has done some deep dive analysis of viewership irregularities of Times Now before talking of alleged malfeasance. Shaman, they have taken their time, they have gone through the process, and then they have made certain observations. I repeat, not conclusions, but certain very worrying observations. What do you think, Shaman?
Well, in fact, they go into
very
specific,
strong observations.
very strong observation that is purely based on the investigation that they have carried out and what they have gathered during the investigation. Once again, to underline the point that they've not come to any conclusion. And exactly, if I can quote from the chart sheet, where they are saying further investigation in this regard is under progress.
So
that is what they are saying, which means that it is still under progress. They are still waiting for those very videos that were basically asked. Important to point out here is that there is a communication that goes out between BARC and Times Now. In fact, dates have also been put out of the show cause notices that have been issued.
3 or 4 up and down messages go, but that trail goes dark after December 2017.
Yeah, there is no response, barring one reply that has come in from the Times Now network. There
Have
is
they responded to us, to our email?
No, they haven't.
Okay.
They
No,
have.
You're talking about what they responded
they
to.
have. They
Okay.
basically what has been written here in the charge sheet, and as I understand, communications have gone out, and I've also Arnab, gone through the annexure of this particular charge sheet, in which there is the communication that goes out between the Enforcement Directorate and BARC, where Enforcement Directorate is plainly requesting BARC to provide information because it is crucial for the forensic auditors.
Very critical. Very critical.
Essential, because what I later at the course of the day will try and explain why it becomes so very critical for the forensic audit report, and how does the final forensic audit really look like when you have instances of malpractices, because
Correct.
there are controls that are to be applied.
Yeah.
So the entire picture would have been very, very different, and this is exactly what they are referring to. Perhaps in the course of the day we'll try and explain how the auditor is basically asking this question. What is it that the Enforcement Directorate's auditor had to say when they were provided with this information?
I want to place this for our viewers' rhythm.
Yes.
Because the BARC, Parambir said, and I believe that, whatever be your corporate battles, you must never bring the truth into the picture or try to distort the truth. Times Now went all out to propagate lies against Republic TV, and they constantly said that the BARC chief favored Republic TV. They said ex-BARC chief favored Republic TV. Why would BARC favor Republic when the final TRP report from the ED says, and it says that a raw data analysis showed abnormal increasing average time spent in watching Times Now? The alleged malpractices which the BARC was investigating was not against Republic, it was against Times Now. Where do we come into the picture? It's between BARC and Times Now. They know, they must share the data with the Enforcement Directorate, but where do we come into the picture there? Times Network publication outlet said that the BCCL sent a notice to BARC complaining that Times Now TRP was reduced for their channel. But the final TRP report says, and I'm not saying it, that the time period of these alleged malfeasance, very, very strong words. Actually, these are words which are rarely used by investigating agencies. And I'm only quoting it verbatim, viewers. I don't bring subjectivity into my reporting, especially not on matters like this. It says that the time period of the alleged malfeasance on part of Times Now directly coincides with the period taken in the BARC audit report. So which means there was a period when the malpractice was being observed, it was being followed. That time period was co-located with the raw data. There was an attempt to put the two together and then get the truth out. And that's when obviously there's a pattern which has been seen. However, the ED says we're not taking a final position on this yet because we're still awaiting more information. So they are waiting more information on this. The moment it comes, probably they will give more information out. But who indulged in the real malfeasance? As of now, it's the ED which is asking questions on Times Now, not on Republic. Yes, please. Niranjan, you want to add something?
Just one question.
Have you heard from Times Now yet?
I still have not heard.
You have written an email to them?
Absolutely. Okay. The email's been written at 10.
And you will carry them live if they come on air?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll send an OB van to them if they want.
We shall. Yes, we shall give all the logistical help they need.
Logistical help they need for that. Yes, Niranjan.
Yes. Arnab, the mention from page 107, the time period of these alleged malfeasance on part of Times Now coincides with the period taken in the BARC audit report. Another very serious question, Arnab. If this coincided with the report that reflected in the BARC audit report, then conveniently one channel's data was not even considered in that report. So it raises larger questions of a cover-up, perhaps just some questions that arise on why this never reflected in the report that was claimed by the Mumbai police.
Yeah, and Niranjan, every organization has its own way of functioning. We do ours, and we know that the nasty tricks which were followed by other channels, and somebody telling us that Arnab, Republic, please send your reporter outside Arun Puri and Times Now's office, need to ask questions like how they were barging in front of your car 2 years back. This message has been kindly sent to us by Pradeep 972, that's Twitter address. Pradeep, appreciate what you've written to us, but we have our own standards. We don't need to do to others what they do to us. That is not what this is about. What we are putting this about, we don't care about who benefits, who loses. We just want the truth out. We want the truth out. And we have therefore followed the more appropriate procedure of sending written emails and telling them that we will carry their point of view. I think people would respect that approach. We are not vindictive in our approach, and we just want to know who indulged in the malfeasance. Times Now had amplified the Mumbai police charge sheet, and they said that I paid 40 lakhs to Partho Das Gupta to rig the TRPs. I didn't have 40 lakhs in my account ever. But the final TRP report says that there was no financial trail to connect the payment of monies by Republic. The report talks about Times Now's questionable ratings, and it says, quote, the viewership of the English news channel is very limited, and even few compromised households can compromise the TRP, which is correct. We've always known that. So why isn't Times Now covering the ED charge sheet alleging a malpractice of their viewership? That is a question to ask viewers. I have part 5 coming in just a moment. Shawan wants to add into this. Yes, Shawan.
Just one more interesting aspect that finds a mention in the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet, that is about the collusion with Mumbai police, because here once again Arnab Bak apparently had written to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in which they categorically stated that there are no irregularities by Republic TV after the audit report and no action taken by Bak post audit report. The question here is that why were they hiding this? There are no irregularities by Republic TV. They are now saying this. When this question was asked long back, there was no real response really coming in, and the fact of the matter here is that the Enforcement Directorate once again making it very clear that all of this has been taken on record. As far as Republic TV is concerned, the letter has been also taken on record. The letter written by Bak to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting.
Completely. I want to tell you viewers that Parambir, I just want to show you the shots. Parambir has been running away from Republic. Like he sees us, he sees a ghost, he runs away, he tries to hide. He thinks we're going to bite Sushil. But Alisha's outside Parambir's house, his Mumbai residence, where I really don't know how he's still living on taxpayer-paid accommodation. How appropriate or ethical is that? Parambir's that's Nilema. That's the residence for very senior police officials. But how does a suspended and now retired policeman still retain that well over a year after he's been suspended? Is baffling to me. But Alisha, is Parambir responding to you? Have you been able to confront him? Have you seen him in the last couple of days, Alisha?
Well, Arnab, we found him on a Saturday where we tried to ask him multiple questions. How did he fabricate the evidence against Republic TV? After that, he did not really step out of his house, or whether he's in Mumbai, his phone is switched off, he has deleted his WhatsApp, all this, things that he has been doing too. So we are just reporting right outside Nilema where he still say. And last we saw him on Saturday where multiple questions asked, but he was tight-lipped, head down, was not really speaking. He was not even saying what was the reason, because we know on the 8th of October 2020 where he held a press conference, and of course he made a call to the senior editor asking them to deploy a crew at his press conference, and even we thought that even we will go at his press conference, but they were clear instruction that was given to police officials that Republic TV will not be allowed inside the premises, the CP premises. So that was the instruction that was given to the police officials. We were ready even back then, and even now we have been asking him why did he fabricated evidence against Republic, because on the press conference that we know, Arnab, that he clearly mentioned that TRP has been manipulated by Republic TV. But now the charge sheet that has been come, that the report by Enforcement Directorate clearly said there is no evidence, which is why when we found him, we tried to confront him. We asked him multiple times, why did he do that? On what reason why that he, on that power, when he was a commissioner, on that power, he only named Republic TV and not the other channel, which was actually in the FIR. So we confronted him, but there was no answer. And even now, we have been reporting right outside his residence. He don't need to go anywhere. He don't need to go anywhere just to answer, because we know the attitude of Parambir, that whenever it comes to the case, he always used to hold a press conference. He used to call media at his office to give a bite, even if it's a matter that has been taken by any police station. But we are just waiting at his residence, even if he's retired. He was suspended, later he was retired. We know that even when he was in Mumbai, he was going to the police stations. He was using the accommodation of the government. Later, the action that was taken by Home Minister, by then Mahavikas Aghadi, and later then we know that he is still staying here at the same residence. He is taking all the liability of being here since he has 6 to 7 months. So he is still staying here with a family, but he knows that there are teams deployed, there are Republic. Who is going to ask him again on the TRP charge sheet that has been filed by Enforcement Directorate?
You know, actually, the thing about Parambir is that I think this is, he knows that he's been totally exposed. He knows, Alisha, it's a matter of time before we confront him. And you look at his body language, look at him, that 2020 and 2022. This is what happens to liars. This is what happens to fabricators. They lie, they think they will get away, and now they run away from us. The truth is on our side. The Lord Almighty, the people of this country, God is on our side. The truth is on our side. And before I go to part number 5, I want to say something, and I want to show you something, viewers. I want to show you something. I have something to show you, and which is why I'm very passionate about this particular part, viewers. You know, on the first day when the ratings of Republic came out, I keep this with pride in my room. And this was written out to me by our head of production and our head of content. She put this out, she wrote this out for us, and I framed this up. And it is with pride that I keep it in my room. And viewers, this is what disturbed people so much. 51.9% Republic, 24.6% Times Now, 6.6 IBN, 6.9 NDTV, NewsX 1.8, India Today 8.2. Okay, now this is 2017, viewers. This is what they tried to challenge, viewers. This, viewers. And I'm addressing all my journalistic colleagues in the Times Now newsroom and the India Today newsroom, especially those in Times Now. Remember, my dear friends at Times Now, I founded Times Now. I set it up with my hard work, our entrepreneurship. We fought. When I left, like a professional, I fought Times Now and I won. That is what meritocracy is about. I want every reporter, output person, input person, please switch on your audio right now and do hear me. Merit wins. Hard work wins. That is the only way that I have been taught in my entire life, in my career of 27 years. And we believe that if you work hard, you win through your professionalism and the intensity of your effort. Now, we were told this number needs to be ulta. This is so funny. We were told, it's like someone saying, I got the silver medal, I deserve the gold. It's like crazy. And then they said to us, no, but you were on narcotics, and do a drug test on us. This is our drug test, Shawan. This is our drug test. We're not Ben Johnson, right? We're not Carl Lewis, but I can tell you we are the cheetahs of the news industry. Nobody can outrun us, right?
Absolutely.
They said this is the cheetahs are back. But here the cheetahs never went away. But they said we can't run. I said no, well we have great muscles and long legs, we know how to win. Viewers, the Times Now claim that it deserved the #1 ranking has been trashed by the final TRP report. Completely trashed. The ED report destroys Times Now's silly claim that they deserve to be rated above Republic. Rhythm is having a good laugh. Rhythm,
I like, Arnab, it's very...
You like my sense of humor on these occasions.
And also the grace with which we are putting this forward as compared to the nastiness. There is no other word but nastiness to which other channels tried to be very overtly getting their own agendas fixed along with the top cops and politicians in Maharashtra 2 years ago.
And you know, to say that, no, you know, Parambir is with us, so we'll make this year, we will come down. What is this rubbish? The ED report, viewers, has totally destroyed Times Now's claim that Republic should not be #1. The ED appointed special auditor has analyzed the data and the statements, and the auditor has ripped through, torn apart to shreds Times Now's claims on this. And I want you to show the part and read out the appropriate part. Please listen carefully, viewers. This is very important. It may be an embarrassment for Times Now. The claim has been trashed. They've been trashed in the report. Their theory has been torn apart. Shawan will tell us more. Shawan.
So, the Enforcement Directorate appoints an auditor.
Yes.
They are given the full set of their investigation, the investigation done by the Enforcement Directorate, all the inputs that came in, data that came in from BARC. The auditor was given the mandate that you need to analyze each one of them. And specific focus was on this entire allegation that Republic is not the original number one. It is Times Now that is the original number one. Their wishful thinking that seems to have now come out in the open. Here, take a look at this particular report.
Yeah.
Now, this report is the entire report prepared by the auditor.
Yeah.
These are 3 columns. They go week-wise. Each week, what is the data like?
Yeah.
Here, take a look at it. Page number 92.
And this is an auditor. I would like to share the name. Very
It's Choksi
well
and
recognized
Choksi.
auditing firm called Choksi and Choksi.
Choksi and
Swapnil,
Choksi.
you'll know about this.
Yes.
Choksi and Choksi
Top of the
LLP.
line on this, right?
Absolutely, one of the best.
Yeah.
So this is what they do. They go week-wise and they say that, okay, we are looking at everything. We are looking at the emails of BARC. We are looking at the data. Now I'll read out what exactly did Choksi and Choksi say about week 24, 2017. And I'm quoting. The analysis of emails of BARC officials, SOP of BARC, statements of BARC officials taken by the Enforcement Directorate, iMessage conversations of BARC officials does not inter alia refer to alteration of ranking of Times Now to below that of Republic TV based on the samples verified by us. They also go on to say, based on the above and to the best of our knowledge and belief, there is no indication of any intended modification of rankings that resulted in manipulation. Like this, it runs into about several pages and about 8 instances that we have counted where the Enforcement Directorate's auditor says there is zero manipulation. Not a single week there was any manipulation from BARC's side to make us number one. What's important to point out here, the reality being that there were vigilance inputs for those, and especially for the Joint Commissioner of Police Law and Order, Mr. Milind Bharambe, who was essentially saying that they were relying on facts. The fact being is that the auditor misled. It is the auditor which gave the wrong data. It is the auditor which turns out by saying that they had never taken into account vigilance inputs against Times Now, and that is the reason why it was a fake report that was prepared. Because here, take a look at what, once again, the auditor is saying here. BARC has now openly said, and this is what BARC has told, and the auditor has looked into it. They are saying that Times Now, on the basis of instruction citing vigilance inputs as such, after applying the CAC, which is controls on Times Now, numbers would logically change. And the same has been mentioned by me in the above email. Times Now, due to vigilance inputs for the said channel, the numbers would change. Further, with reference to Republic, since there was no vigilance input for the said channel, the numbers were kept same for the said channel. CACs were applied on all suspicious channels based on vigilance inputs. There were inputs about suspicious behavior of Times Now from vigilance updates. So it's very, very clear that the auditor appointed by the Mumbai police never took into account that there were vigilance inputs against Times Now, and that is the reason why logically things would have been very different had they taken into consideration.
Absolutely. You see, the fact is that it was said that the ratings were manually, Niranjan, reduced by BARC to help us and to put Times Now down. First, point number one. When the gap is like this, when the gap is this, how do you reduce? Second point is, if you're under a vigilance inquiry, you're going to be put under controls, which is what BARC is saying to ED.
Yes.
Is it my problem that they were under a vigilance inquiry?
Yeah.
They were allegedly, and I'm using the word allegedly doing malpractices. They were being seen as suspicious. They were under vigilance inquiry. There were video recordings on them. Where do I come into the picture? Exactly. BARC put you under controls for that reason. And Choksi and Choksi, this is important rhythm, and I want you to explain it. Yes. When an investigating agency which has done 2 years of work further takes its investigations before an independent body for a double verification, it obviously means that it knows that it's dealing with a sensitive case and therefore wants to get everything absolutely right. The auditor, having applied their mind on it, on the allegations made in the forensic report, comes out and says there is no intention of any modification of rankings that resulted in manipulation. This therefore becomes the final word. Yes. But it has gone through a level of scrutiny That is unusual by itself, isn't it, Rhythm?
Absolutely.
Unusual levels of scrutiny.
And Arnab, like Shravan mentioned, why is this important? Because of the forensic audit report that was relied upon by Parambir and Milan Barambe. Viewers, just to simplify this, there was one report, and in the supplementary so-called chart sheet filed by the Parambir-led investigation against Republic TV, they spoke about this forensic audit report. They waved it around in press conferences. That report did not take into consideration the householders which said they had been allegedly approached by Times Now. Therefore, the Enforcement Directorate report is clearly saying that it was a superficial report. It was based on limited facts. Certain facts were absent in it. I just have one question here, and that's what I want to really ask here. How is it that the Parambir-led investigation by the disgraced cops was so desperate to get us that they used half-baked reports?
And you know, it is so easy to say there was ratings manipulation. It is so easy to try and cloud the public mind. It's so easy to put doubt. For doubt, by nature, is a human, what you can weakness or quality. You know, it is easy to put doubts among friends. It is easy to put doubts among family members. And I would say it is not impossible to put doubts in the minds of the people of India about us. For they have faith in us, Niranjan. They love us. They have affection for us. And you never want to be let down by someone you love. And I am coming on air tonight and I'm saying to people who love us, with whom I have more than even a filial relationship, that I'm saying to you that we never lied. Honesty is the best policy, is all that I ever learnt while growing up. My grandfather, Gauri Shankar Bhattacharya, told me simple living and high thinking. The truth will always reach out. Have no doubt about it. Karman nevati karaste ma phaleshu kadachanam. These are the philosophies and culture which we have been brought up with. To come and say that we manipulated the ratings is unbelievable. It is, and sometimes when the lie is told about you, you know it is frustrating sometimes, Niranjan, when you know that there is nothing wrong about what you've done, but that there is a cloud which has been put of doubt, and just your yelling from the other side that you are right and they are wrong is not enough. This is important because the audited report following ED says there is no question of any. I want to read out, it says, after thorough analysis, the alteration of ranking of Times Now to below that of Republic TV doesn't happen, which means that Times Now's false claim on deserving the #1 position has come crashing down in public. And I want to say this to everyone at Times Now. This is not about that channel. After all, who founded your channel? It was me. It was me. Why would I want to speak against Times Now? Unlike you, we have grace, generosity, affection. I have built Times Now. Whatever Times Now is today is because of the painstaking work of a group of people led by me who made that channel #1. But what I'm saying today is that perhaps the editorial standards there need to be addressed, because you cannot go by what Parambir is saying. Even if that truth is very convenient to you, you must filter through the truth. And you must not convince yourself that you lost out because there was someone manipulating the ratings. Choksi and Choksi, the audit firm, the ED is saying that the analysis of the emails of BARC officials, the standard operating procedure of BARC, the statements of BARC officials, ladies and gentlemen, I'm referring to page number, I think 93 or 94, is it? Which is our observation made on week 24, 2017.
92.
Rhythm, page 92. What does it say? Do you want to go through that part? What it says, Niranjan?
Yes.
What that exact specific part out there? What does it say, Niranjan?
Now it says the analysis of emails of BARC officials, SOP of BARC, statements of BARC officials taken by ED and iMessage conversations of BARC does not refer to alteration of ranking of Times Now to below that of Republic TV based on the samples verified by us. Based on the above and to the best of our knowledge and belief, there is no indication, I repeat, no indication of any intended modification of rankings that resulted in manipulation.
Yes.
Arnab, can I just add one part?
Yeah, please, please.
This is exactly the point, because they used an ecosystem of perhaps their media houses, affiliates to put out articles. When you spoke about lies being amplified, this was what was done.
Yeah.
That lies amplified 1,000 times to people, to viewers, to readers. They tried to peddle a lie to claim that perhaps their revenues were affected, etc. And we have the full details of that. If you can, Shravan, take us, and this is also corresponding to the period, Shravan, the same period when the BARC audit report was made. Deliberately, the data of Times Now perhaps was kept away from that BARC audit report? Because if it did, then it would reflect in that report.
Yes, I have a lot of callers right now, and people are complaining you're not taking the callers.
Let's
caller from
some
Kolkata,
callers.
Shubhodit Mitra. Shubhodit Mitra. Shubhodit.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are very much. You are very much, Shubhodit. Please go ahead. Yes.
Although I am really honored that I'm just speaking to you. I mean, this may be about the TRP case, but what I would say is that there was a lot of cases that were done against you just to keep your voice down. That's the main objective. Okay. And as a viewer and as a general population and as a general independent, citizen of India, I would say one thing only, that when we were arrested that night, we were really hoping that nothing comes as a bad thing, because we were all praying from Kolkata, from everywhere around the India. But that was the only thing that keeps me motivated. And one thing is that you are just like Netaji, fighting alone in this battle against all the conspirators.
Yes.
And I really wish you that you continue to fight like this.
Yes.
Because this is the only thing that
Shubhodit,
the only channel that.
Shubhodit, can I say something to you? It's always a flip side of it, Shubhodit. When I look back at it, because of all that happened, I had to leave Mumbai. We went to Delhi, but that also brought me back to the beautiful city where I began my career, which is the magical city of Kolkata. And if I had not come, then Republic Bangla would not have been launched. And today I have one more way of reaching out to you. So I always look at the flip side as well, Shubhodit. That is important, isn't it, for all of us to also look at. So there is a flip side to it. And I want to say one thing to you. I have beautiful, wonderful colleagues here, But I also have with us Abhishek, Aishwarya. We'll bring in Sanika also. Let's get them all in. And a lot of people who have all been working alongside us for this day. And Indra Sukumar is finally with us from Chennai. Indra, sorry, lost the line with you last time. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I can hear you.
How are you, Indraji?
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. How are you, Arnab?
Very well.
Very happy.
Very happy today.
Happy about you and the team.
Thank you.
Appreciated that you have exposed the people in power to the public.
Thank you.
And see, I should insist one thing here.
Yeah.
See, there should be competition in any field, but that shouldn't pulling each other's leg. Right?
I agree.
So that's what happening now. I'm sorry.
It should not happen.
Unfortunately, that was happening now. And anyhow, congrats once again, you and the team.
Thank you.
Keep good work done. Always.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Indra. Thank you so much. And just 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute, please. We have just 1 minute. I'll go to Ruchi. Just 1 minute. Ruchi Saxena from Bengaluru. Ruchi, hi.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi. I'm fine, sir. Just I want to say my heartiest congratulations to you, sir, and for our entire Republic family. And actually, you are the voice of India, and you stand with truth. So we, the public, the citizens of India, stand with you as rock solid. And you always fight for justice, whether it is a Palghar or Sushant Singh or whatever.
Yes.
You always, your life motto is honesty is the best policy.
It's the only policy.
Now, yes. And now, you have suffered a lot. You risked your life. And Arnab sir, when before Deepavali, you were in jail. So our entire family decided not to celebrate Deepavali until Arnab is released. So now we are very happy and die-hard fan of you because you are a true nationalist. And please convey my regards to Shravan sir, Rhythm ma'am, Niranjan sir, and entire Republic family. And one thing is clear, that along with you. We the public, we the viewers will never forget, we never forgive Latvian media.
Yeah,
That's all. Boycott them forever.
Thank you.
Satyamev Jayate.
Satyamev Jayate. Ruchiji, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank
sir.
you. You know, viewers, this battle for the #1 position is a reality in the television news industry. It must never descend to this kind of a level. Yes. We cannot, and I want to say this, not just to Times Now, and to everyone in the media, we must not allow politicians and policemen to enter the arena. Politicians and policemen will want to do that. It is a terrible mistake. It's a terrible, terrible mistake. If you allow a politician, a corrupt policeman, a scheming businessman to come in and try to do this, all the claims of Times Now are now being trashed, and they went to town trying to claim their numbers were incorrectly reduced. The independent auditors in the ED report proved that that was bunkum, and it's been this whole claim on data. They went and they said that there was a 431 crore loss to Times Now. The special auditor's report in this 138-page document completely trashes that. Viewers, I need to go now to the next point, which is very, very important here. And today, I am also saying today, I've sent a letter out, I've sent an email out. By the way, have you received a response from Times Now yet?
We
You
just
haven't?
checked again,
okay,
no
we will go live with them whenever they come in. Okay,
yes.
We will do that. Viewers, there were a total of, I am told, 35 policemen who were sent to our advertisers and investors in Kolkata. And there were a total of 2,000 emails sent to our advertisers in India and across the world to the head offices of global corporations advertising on Republic, that because of the claims of Parambir, people should not advertise with us. And I'm very, 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 very happy to say this, viewers, that all our advertisers are back with us, and they are with us then, they are with us now. And there were ministers from the MVA government who were calling big corporates up, threatening them that if they support Republic through advertising or investment or any other way, then their work will be stopped in Maharashtra. And all of this has been proven to be terrible wishful thinking. What is also wishful thinking, Shawan? And I'd like Abhishek to join us right now as well. And I'd like from our newsroom also, we can get in our newsroom. I'd like to get in Aishwarya. I'd like to bring in Sanika. Let's start bringing in everyone from the newsroom in. And I want to say thanks to everyone who has been with us. I want to thank our production team, people who are working even of this minute in our production control room, in our digital platform, on the news desks of Republic TV, Republic Bharat, Republic Bangla, all of us who have built Republic with me. This organization is a fortress of the truth. It will not be driven into with a drivel of lies. Wishful thinking by Times Now. I come to part number 6, ladies and gentlemen, that they were above Republic. Exposed by the ED auditor who tears Times Now's reality claim to shreds. So it's a bit of a reality check, I would say, for Times Now, because the ED auditor tells them that their claims have absolutely no basis. Shaman, it's a huge embarrassment for them. Now, as we all know, they are not number 1, they are not number 2, they are somewhere between number 3 and 4.
Fighting for.
Yeah, there's been a very detailed shredding of Times Now's claims by the ED report and the ED auditors. Can you please read out what has been put out in page number 92 and what that means, please, for us?
So, Arnab, as we were just pointing out, this stems from this entire Mumbai police forensic audit report.
Let me lift it up, actually. Yeah.
This is where
it says out here. Yeah. Let me put it out very clearly here, viewers. I want to put it out here, viewers. If you can just help me with this, page number 92, viewers, so that everything is in the public domain. Let's hold it up. Let's go extremely close up. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Just zoom in a bit. Thank you very much. Here, viewers. This is the auditor's report, viewers. Can you see it? This is the auditor's report. Yeah, stay there. Okay, stay there. If you can just get the contrast right. Zoom in a wee bit more. Should I come closer to you? A wee bit more? Should I come in closer? Okay, let me do that. Okay, viewers, I won't get up right now. I just want to tell you, viewers, this is the part, I just want to bring in the part with the repeated references to Times Now. What it says is very, very important, viewers, very important. This whole part is on Times Now. It's a public document. It's completely valid to put it out. I want to read it out to you. It says, Rushabh Mehta, who is a senior official in BARC, says, controls were to be applied on Times Now on the basis of instructions citing vigilance inputs. As such, after applying the CAC, that is the controls on Times Now, numbers would logically change. The senior BARC official goes on to tell the Enforcement Directorate in a legally valid statement, and he says out here very clearly, this is actually part number 7 I'm moving to, sorry, part number 7 please. It says, the same has been mentioned by me in my above email, wherein after applying controls on Times Now, due to vigilance inputs on the said channel, the numbers would change. Further, with reference to Republic, since there were no vigilance inputs for the said channel, the numbers were kept the same for the said channel. Now, is it my fault that I did no wrong, I did no corruption, I did no malpractice, there was no vigilance inquiry on me, I was not under investigation, and hence there were no controls put on my channel's numbers? Is that a wrong thing to do? Is it a wrong thing to be right?
Yes.
Is it a wrong thing, Swapnil, to follow the due process? What this means, Times Now, which accused Republic, was under vigilance inquiry at BARC for suspicious behavior. Whatever is going on is between Times Now and BARC. Times Now faced a vigilance scrutiny for a long period in 2017 after Republic was launched. Times Now came under vigilance scrutiny at BARC for suspicious behavior, because of which controls were placed. And so it is now confirmed that there were strong vigilance inputs about suspicious behavior of Times Now. That is a BARC official telling the ED. This is BARC official telling the ED. And in page number 92, it says that CACs were applied on all the suspicious channels based on vigilance inputs. This is a statement of Rushabh Mehta, a statement of the BARC officials. He says there were inputs about suspicious behavior of Times Now from vigilance updates. Accordingly, controls were applied on Times Now at state, into town class, into day, into universe. Content and distribution updates were also factored in. However, in the case of tampering instances, vigilance inputs were considered final. What does this mean? It means that Times Now has its own record exposed in the ED report. Times Now knew about being placed under scrutiny. There were suspicious patterns noted by BARC regarding Times Now, leading to controls being placed internally. It has nothing to do with Republic.
And
yes, Shawan.
And not one reference. In fact, Arnab, what you have read out, it's just what they've done is they've gone week-wise.
Yes.
So every week they are basically analyzing not only the data, they're also analyzing if there have been any internal communications. Because if you remember, Mumbai police was basically relying on certain email conversations between two people, BARC officials. And they said that these emails indicated that we were basically trying to influence them, and that's the reason why we were made number one. But the reality being that almost each week, and I've counted about 8 such references have been made, and they've gone about week 27, 2017 to week 32, 2017. Then they also have analyzed emails of top BARC officials. Then they've gone to week 30. Like that, they've gone ahead and finally till about week 33, almost all weeks of that very period
and
that Mumbai.
This is a recorded.
And everything is recorded. So they have.
No, this is a recorded testimony of a former senior BARC official.
Yes.
He's the head of partnerships in West, Rushabh Mehta. And he says this, right? He says I can't.
That. So he's basically called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. His statement is recorded.
Yeah.
So this statement is
he tells this to the ED.
Yeah, he tells this to the ED.
Yeah.
ED gives this statement to the auditor and tells them, why don't you verify? Why don't you verify what he's saying is the truth or not?
Yes.
So what do? They basically start going through all the emails, they go through the data, and then they try to understand the algorithm which is basically in place to look into these kind of malpractices or looking at the impact of several other mechanisms in place. And each of them, each week, The same thing is said. You just read out one.
The
like
point
this,
being,
it's all
why were Republic's numbers brought down? Our numbers were not brought down. Maybe others' numbers were not brought down because there was no vigilance report or vigilance inquiry or suspicious trends about us. And it says here that with reference to Republic, there was no vigilance input for the said channel.
No.
The numbers were kept the same for the said channel. And they have said there, please, if you see that on your screen, it says, it can be clearly observed. It can be clearly observed that Times Now, which used to garner about 1,779 impressions, 000, before, after Republic was launched, started garnering 9,711 impressions. So this appeared suspicious and we brought in the controls then. This is a decision of BARC. I have nothing to do with it. They are saying that they found something suspicious, they acted, they've told the ED.
Yes.
Point is that what do we have to do with it? It is between BARC and Times Now. They can keep talking to each other. I didn't tell BARC to cut Times Now. Times Now didn't tell BARC to cut them. It's going on. There's a vigilance inquiry. What can I do about it? And this is so important, viewers. This is data tampering cannot be allowed. What you're seeing on your screen there, this is a written statement before the ED, Swapnil, with legal sanctity that proves that Times Now was being put under scrutiny for suspicious trends in 2017 post the Republic launch. I want to go to Mamta Kale. You're watching this, Mamta. These are very intricate details. Some of these things are technical. But what is the big picture that's coming across to you? Mamta.
Good afternoon, Arnab.
Good afternoon.
And very, very shocked to hear what you've been talking all the while. You know, I really do not know how these people understand TRP, so on and so forth. But what I know is that it is a clear-cut case of fudging the data, criminal conspiracy against you and Republic, tampering with the data, and a lot more, which was clearly done by none other than, and I'm saying it, Arnab, very clearly, the then Chief Minister of Maharashtra. We cannot, let him out of this. And then the then Home Minister, Anil Deshmukh, who's behind bars, and above all, Paramveer Singh, who had actually, who had become the holier than thou kind of an image. He was coming out and saying, no, I am going to fix Republic because they are fudging data, they are buying TRP. So all I am saying is who has given Paramveer Singh the authority, who was actually calling the shots behind Paramveer Singh, and on whose behest was he doing all of this? So we need to understand this. It is a great victory for you, Arnab, and we all knew that you've not done anything wrong. We knew that you are absolutely correct. We knew all you are doing is working hard, honestly doing things for your channel and for the country. But who is behind it is my question, and I simply want to know the names. Nothing else, Arnab. I need to know the names, and not only me. The entire nation needs to know the name. Other than Paramveer Singh. Paramveer Singh is he has to be punished.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Swapnil also coming in.
Yeah. Arnab, from all the analysis that you read and even what Shravan read, it's very clear that the Enforcement Directorate report filed in the court will be taken cognizance of and cannot be challenged simply because the BARC ratings plus the audit by a top company comprehensively points out that there is no foul play in all the diagrams and all the figures and which is there.
Yeah.
So that completely seals as far as the legal aspect is concerned.
Correct.
What befuddles me is that Times Now and BARC were having a tete-a-tete between themselves as to what was going on, and BARC suspected something. Why was Republic dragged into this picture when it had nothing to do with it?
Because we probably took on Uddhav Thackeray.
Now,
I mean, this is the most bizarre thing in the world,
right. Second point, Arnab, my point is that
also because it was convenient. We were doing phenomenally well. We are doing well, but we were the #1 channel in English and the #1 channel in Hindi. So we become a problem in corporate terms for fellow media organizations, for politicians, for policemen, or a whole lot of people.
True.
Yes,
true.
please. Abhishek's joining us, Vikram Singh joining us, Subhash Jha joining us.
Just one
quick point. Yeah,
Niranjan, let me. I was just having a train of thought. Let me finish that. My point is, Arnab, that when you start a channel after departing from a certain channel, which happens all the time in this world, people leave companies, join another company, etc. All the time. You are not some novice that people can start questioning कि इसका इतना rating कैसे आया? कि इसका, you have already been a champion of free press and you already made a channel, and then when you walked out of that channel, you started your own. So the question is very simple, that is something which possibly hurts the people.
Correct.
And two is that why on earth would you be dragged? That is my repeat question.
I want to stay on the...
keeps silent when you are going through what you went through.
Bark has its compulsions. I really want to... We should call Sunil Lola and ask that question one day.
Yes, exactly.
I want to also place on record that I have sent an email to the Bark CEO Nakul Chopra as well. We're going to send them one more email right now. It becomes very, very important given all of this that they speak up. Subhash Jha is coming in right now. Subhash, a lot of very, very detailed inputs in the CT report. Now, point number one is, as far as Times Now is concerned, what comes out is that controls were put on Times Now because there was some suspicious behavior. A vigilance inquiry was going on. They were putting controls on them. It's a matter of a vigilance inquiry against Times Now, which I have nothing to do with. I have not told Bark to do a vigilance inquiry on them. And obviously, Subhash Jha, Times Now would also know that that is a possible reason why there are controls being applied on them. Not because I am friendly with some Bark CEO, that is absolutely rubbish. They know that there is a process, and during that process, it's between Bark, and I'm sure Bark, would probably share that information with them. Where do we come into this? What is coming across right now is the nature of the fixing, the alleged malfeasance on part of Times Now that ED is talking about, the TRP data, the real data was suppressed for 2 years. When the real data comes out, it's a complete explosion. Exactly. The real data, the raw data, you're a lawyer. When you're making an argument, you look at the facts always. The facts have come out today, Subhash. For the first time, it's come out today, Subhash. And it's horrifying, the level of fabrication that happened here. And right now, my reporters are outside Parambir's house. He's not saying anything. He's still living in a government flat. Yes, Subhash. He's hiding in a government flat, paid for by you and me.
Arnab, what is horrifying? Let us start with how the FIR was registered against in this case. In the first information report, the name of Republic TV or Arnab Goswami, for that matter, does not appear. There is not even a whisper anywhere with regard to involvement of, in any manner whatsoever, involvement of Republic TV. And yet, the investigation started with Republic TV as if they are the only accused arraigned in this case. Republic TV, if you see the first information report, I hope you remember.
Yes.
So Republic TV is not there. Arnab, the question is, now let me have the opportunity of, I have been working in this area or in the area of reform in the criminal justice system. Now, what is important for all of us to consider? This is not the solitary case. Let me tell you, I come across every day at least 3 or 4 cases where I find that the investigation is manipulated, the investigation is maneuvered and taken in a different direction than in the manner in which it should be taken. Those who are required to be investigated are never investigated. Something which is not required to be investigated are investigated. And in the process, what happens is important constitutional rights of citizen guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution is violated with complete impunity. Time has come when we make the investigators accountable. There is no accountability. Now, say for example in this case, and if this could happen with the most popular news channel in India, imagine what would be the plight of common man. Now, those people who have involved themselves in the process of manipulation and preparing a false case like this, manipulating and fabricating evidence, and going to the extent of filing charge sheet in the court, I'm sure they will go scot-free in the current circumstances. I'm saying that they should not go scot-free. They have to be made accountable. They have to be prosecuted. Mamta Kade has said that their name should be known. No, knowing their name should alone will not do. They should be prosecuted and it has to be taken to its logical conclusion. Let a message go very loud and clear to those investigators involved in the process of investigation that you just can't walk away by preparing whatever documents you feel are to be submitted in the form of a charge sheet. Gone are the days. Let a message be sent very loud and clear.
Absolutely. We also have Vikram Singh with us. Vikram, if you know, this is becoming perhaps the case of India's biggest lie. You know, I don't think there has been a lie of this nature which has been seen so far. I want you to also talk about the witness fabrication. You know, it's quite clear out here that there are 34 people, households, not one of them says they were bribed by Republic, approached by Republic or gratified by Republic. However, there is raw data which proves they were watching other channels. There is accusation that they were bribed by other channels. How can you drag any party at your free will into a case that they have nothing to do with?
Exactly.
We have nothing to do with this.
If Arnab, may I submit, first of all, let me congratulate you, your wonderful team of world-class championship material who have won the day. As they say, Satyamev Jayate, and in Hindi, Sache ka bol bala, jhoote ka muh kala. I, in my experience of 36 years of policing and investigations, have never seen such a perverse and a malicious investigation in my life. Although I have read and trained in the National Police Academy, but this will take the gold medal for being the most malicious investigation I have ever come across. Now, beginning from the fact, the QED was to fix Arnab and Republic channel. And then the reverse engineering started. And during the course of the reverse engineering, every evidence was fabricated and the foundation of falsehood was set so that Republic channel would be fixed. And why? Why should Arnab be fixed? Arnab, let me tell you, and your wonderful team, sympathy is universal, jealousy has to be earned. And you have, and your channel has earned the jealousy of the high and mighty and the Mathadijas and the titans of the industry. They are absolutely unsettled and feeling insecure. And therefore, an unholy nexus between the investigators and the powers that be, the politicians and everybody who felt so inconvenient in your presence that yes, they had a police system that bent over heels, the bark system, and those who said that even though there were vigilance inquiries, there were certain fabricated evidence produced by the Times Group, yet they went so far as to be at their beck and call and tried to fix Republic and tried to fix you. Little did they realize that they are dialing a wrong number. Little did they realize that they are quoting the recipe of disaster. And see the unseen hands of the almighty Arnab, that whoever has tried to touch you and the Republic channel is eating the dust and is behind bars. I do hope the people realize that falsehood at the end of the day does not work. It has never worked in the past. It has not worked. And today it's a major victory, not only for you. After all, Arnab, you should realize, and Republic should realize, have there been prayer meetings for any journalist in the country right across or abroad? It was only for you and the Republic. It was for your wonderful team. There were prayer meetings, artis, women going on fasts just to see that you emerge unharmed from the Taluja jails and the Republic channels emerges victorious. With this amount of spiritual content in the battle that you won, well, it was David against Goliath, no doubt about it. But the victory and the results were foregone conclusions. At the end of the day, David had to win against Goliath, and this is history. But yes, as other illustrious speakers have said, this investigation needs to be re-looked, re-investigated, and anybody who is privy to this unholy nexus and alliance should be fixed. His career should end, and also the course correction needs to come out. I do hope that those responsible should come out with the white paper explaining the misdeeds and the misdemeanors and come out so that there is no replication of such errors and such horrible things that have happened to Arnab.
I also now want to come to a very important part of our breaking news broadcast. And this is part 9, viewers. Now, the astonishing fact which emerges here is this. Please listen carefully. The ex-BARC CEO's name is Sunil Lulla, Shawan. Sunil Lulla tells the Enforcement Directorate that the vigilance proceedings against Times Now were not considered in the forensic report. Which means that the forensic report was half-baked. Not only that, Sunil Lulla says he was not informed about the vigilance proceedings against Times Now. So he is the BARC CEO in 2020. He says, I didn't know that there was a vigilance proceeding against them. He said, therefore, that BARC's so-called forensic report, which Parambir and Mumbai police was using to fix me, did not consider the vigilance proceedings against Times Now. Had they done so, the results would have been completely at variance. What did Parambir claim in this matter, Shawan? What had Parambir's claim been?
So Parambir basically brought in an auditor called Acquisiry Risk Consulting Private Limited.
Yes.
And said that this was based on that report, Republic TV is not number one. There are malpractices, households were being bribed. That's what Parambir Singh said.
Yeah.
It turns out that even Acquisiry Arnab was asked this question by the Enforcement Directorate, that did you or did you not receive information about the vigilance inputs? Acquisiry said, no, we didn't. And then ED was asking this question, that had you been given this data, would it be different? They said yes. Now, Sunil Lulla was also asked this question. It's a 2-page report, page number 79, as Arnab was pointing out. The last paragraph, he's asked a question by the Enforcement Directorate, and I'm quoting. On being asked whether the vigilance proceedings of Times Now was considered in the forensic report, he inter alia stated that the vigilance proceedings of Times Now was not considered in the forensic audit report, as he was not informed of the vigilance proceedings, hence the same was not considered. He's made a big admission. If that
had been considered, the results would be completely
absolutely different, and that is
and that would have explained why Times Now's numbers were what they were.
Absolutely, because this is
now obviously Sunil Lulla said I didn't know about it. As an institution, did they not know about it?
And that's the
CEO can come and say I didn't know about it. What about the institution? There was institutional memory.
Yes.
There was institutional memory, Rhythm. Yes. Abhishek, are you hearing me? There was institutional memory within BARC. 100% it's undeniable that institutional memory would have existed within BARC about this matter. How can they say as an organization we did not know?
Exactly.
Can they say that, Abhishek?
Oh, absolutely, Arnab. I mean, the manner in which they have effectively been part of the entire corporate conspiracy to compromise the Republic's standing, it was almost as if they wanted to take down Republic, coming together, all these corporations, companies, some people within the BARC system, because otherwise, why would they give this compromised data to the Mumbai police, and the Mumbai police would use that compromised data to come to the conclusion that it came to?
And why would Sunil Lulla not know about it? Sunil Lulla was the CEO of Times Now. Sunil Lulla was the CEO of Times Now.
Yes.
And now that he knows about it, what is his responsibility? He quietly goes to the ED and says, I didn't know about it. I had no idea about it. I don't know. I didn't give them. The forensic auditors say, we were not given it. We had no idea about it. You're reading in one more part out here. Sunil Lulla says out here, and I want to point out this part. Can I just pick this up? Viewers, with all of Rhythm's notes. It says, viewers, on this part, if you can say this. If you can zoom in on this part, please. Can you zoom in on this part, please? Yeah, thank you. It says, on being asked whether the vigilance proceedings on Times Now were considered in the forensic report, he inter alia stated that the vigilance proceedings of Times were not considered in the forensic audit report, as he was not informed about the vigilance proceedings, hence the same was not considered. How can you do this? How can you say, I didn't know about it, if it had an impact on the way the data was put out, Shawan? This means that the forensic report that Parambir was trying to tom-tom was incomplete. It means that the claims in the forensic report have no basis. And therefore the questions are, what if the forensic proceedings, what if the vigilance proceedings had been included in the auditor's report?
It would have been completely different.
It would have been completely different.
And Sunil Lulla, there is one more point here. selective amnesia, I would say, because he knows about the fact that all information was being provided to the other auditor acquisition.
Absolutely
He
knows.
says he was asked this question on being asked whether the documents evidence provided to Acquisition Risk Consulting Private Limited for conducting the said audit.
Correct.
He entirely stated BARC provided the emails
I can't
and
believe-
related attachments of specific individuals.
I can't believe
No,
This
note
is
this.
just-
Note
you know,
this.
it's just-
And
it's
it looks
just-
like,
I mean, this-
it looks like a complete
It's a
hit job
joke.
because
It looks like a hit job. I'm sorry to
because
say that.
they say that related attachments of specific individuals employed by BARC and past employee was copied from BARC system to the hard disk of Acquisition Risk Consulting Private Limited.
Just something else.
Very conveniently, this is the big picture. The big picture is this, that Mr.
Where is
Lulla knows.
Parambir also in all this?
Because the
The question is, did Parambir ever talk to Sunil Lulla? There should be CDR investigations of the phone conversations between Sunil Lulla and Parambir. Were there formal, informal, social, unsocial interactions between the two? Was there a familiarity between these two individuals? Was there a message exchange between Sunil Lulla and Parambir Singh? Is the CBI going to look into this aspect? Is the CBI going to question Sunil Lulla? Is the CBI which is going to come into this matter? And I have some breaking news right now. We can share this, viewers, that the CBI is, and this is the one grid which needs to fire, that the CBI is already beginning an investigation into the criminal aspect of what happened.
They are already,
breaking it.
already midway. So after the enforcement directorate, the other big agency that has stepped in, viewers, is the Central Bureau of Investigation, looking into the.
So you're saying
allegations
CBI
of
is coming in? The CBI, which was blocked by Uddhav, is now going to take the CD report and begin its own investigation.
Absolutely.
And has it questioned Sunil Lulla? Has it questioned the other BARC officials? Who are the others who it has questioned?
We can confirm the information that I have from my sources is that top BARC officials have already been questioned by the Central Bureau of Investigation. They have already looked into not one state. Unlike the Mumbai police, a pan-India TRP scam is being probed by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Special focus right now on the functioning of BARC. The fact of the matter is that large part of evidence was hidden because they did not want the truth to come out.
Okay.
It turns out CBI is looking into it.
Okay, so this is very, very important new revelation which comes out right now. If we look at the big picture, if we look at the larger picture out here, what is now emerging? Where is Parambir? Should he not be made more answerable in lieu of the present facts? Subhash, the question of Parambir really now comes into focus, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And Arnab, it is not for all of us here to find him where he is. It is certainly for the CBI to go and get him. And he is not very far away from here, from the High Court. His official residence is very close to the Bombay High Court.
Very, very close to the
Bombay High Court.
To Bombay High Court. And so also the office of CBI, headquarters of CBI.
Okay.
Also ED?
Also.
ED.
Oh, I mean, I think there should be complete transparency on matters like this. There should be no doubt. There should be complete transparency on matters like this. That becomes very, very necessary. Very, very necessary out here, isn't it? Very, very necessary.
Arnab, can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Arnab, my short point is Mr. Sunil Lulla, the ex-CEO of BARC, is abdicating his responsibility from this whole ruckus that has been created by saying that I did not know what was going on. But you said that there is an institutional memory. When CBI commences its investigation, what is the substratum of the conspiracy or of the scam that has taken place against you? The substratum
What is the
BARC
culpability
report.
of Parambir Singh? What is Parambir Singh's culpability in all of this?
He is obviously standing right at the top after the BARC report, because the BARC report is the basis of this. Because without that report, without Mr. Sunil Lulla, without BARC as an institution, if I were to sue, I would sue first the CEO, put number one, number two would be the name of the company of which he was the CEO, now, or put 1 or 2 that way, either way. And then third would be the person who read out that report, which was Mr. Parambir Singh. So as and when you go ahead for malicious prosecution,
yes,
that will be the culpability of all the people who are involved and who are named. And especially when the CBI completes, or should I say even has an interim report on the criminal conspiracy aspect, because it should start its investigation from the base of the scam. The base of the scam is the report. If I did not have that in my hand, I would not be able to say anything in a press conference or even otherwise. So because the report is there, whether it's fudged, fake, forged, whatever it may be, I have that as the base. I need to start my investigation thereon, and then I need to go ahead and start. Now, I for once believe and agree with Subhash where he says that the investigators need to be taken to task. Yes, they need to be. And I would not, again I repeat, have a pessimistic view that they are going to go scot-free. I don't think he said that today. But I know one thing for sure, that the investigators can be sued for malicious prosecution.
Is it not
and
necessary? Does that not become necessary
out
in our country? I want to ask you, Subhash, that when you go through so much, and when you make such claims, and then you take action, and you fabricate evidence, as has now come out, what is the law on malicious prosecution in our country? Subhash.
Arnab, as of now, the law on malicious prosecution is not very effective. It is not a very effective mechanism.
Yes.
We have to, now it is for our constitutional courts to realize that the manipulation or maneuvering of investigation is so rampant.
Yes.
And look at this case, look at Republic case. The attack on Republic should never be seen as a solitary attack on one particular press. It was attack on what is known as the fourth pillar of democracy. Never ever happened after 1976-77.
Yes.
After emergency case, it never happened. Such an attack was for the first time of this magnitude on any press and media. So therefore, it becomes a matter of grave public importance.
Yeah.
If the fourth pillar of the democracy is sought to be demolished or dented like this, one cannot be a spectator, and it is ultimately for the constitutional courts also to step in. And I would request you that take it to its logical conclusion, see to it that the law is developed. This is how the law will be developed. Arnab, you have been responsible for one landmark judgment, 2 landmark judgments from the Supreme Court. Take this, and this is how the law will develop.
Yes, Arnab, one short point I would like to make. The first case which was against you of the Anwar Nayak case, where you were given a liberty by the Supreme Court, where you were freed, that made you a poster boy for liberty rights, for personal liberty. But I would rather want that you are the champion of free press, which is what will happen when you sue for malicious prosecution and defamation, both civil and criminal. Because once you get this report, once you get your matters squashed before the High Court or whatever the courts where they are lying this TRP case, then you have a judgment in your favor. And in as much as Subhash is right about the fact that we don't have a very developed law for malicious prosecution, which is true, but we do have a Vexatious Litigation Act. Malicious prosecution is considered under the law of torts, and people do sue. It's not that much developed as a precedent, but I believe firmly that precedents, before it ever became a first precedent, there were none. So it took some courage for people to go ahead and say that, look, there is a precedent, there never was a precedent, but now let's make one. So as Arnab Goswami never stands at the end of any tradition, he starts one. So that is exactly what should happen when you go ahead and sue the people who have been behind you or who are after you. Because it still doesn't sink in my mind, looking at this 138-page report, that when there is a chat between a channel, between an agency and another particular channel, why is an altogether different channel brought under this? Yes, there were certain exposés carried out by Republic TV, but I don't think that is the only reason. There have to be certain other reasons as to why a report by an this rating agency needs to keep quiet. I would want to go to deeply investigate this as to why you would want to keep quiet. What was the emolument, or what was the enticement to keep quiet after this came out? I am a credible agency. I have to come out and say that, look, I did not have this report. This is the report that was there. It is being fudged by the people. I am not responsible. You should have said at that time time.
Yeah,
when you were being taken to, you were being heckled and you were being troubled. When this huge investigation of 1,000 hours of TRP case where Vikas Khanchandani was picked up from his walk, this, that and the other was going on at that time, there should not be any silence. And secondly, if you recall, Partha Dasgupta was being heckled to write an affidavit or to swear an affidavit against you, saying that yes, Republic was fudged, but he did not budge an inch. Possibly, I don't know much of the details at that time, I don't remember. But I know one thing for sure, that he did not bow down to that. And so all of these things that one CEO now lifts his hands up, maybe because he was out of commission or omission, whatever it is, but I need to investigate this a little bit more thoroughly if I am the Central Bureau of Investigation, so that I can start at the base of it and then come out properly.
Absolutely.
And I hope I don't stop midway if I'm the Central Bureau of Investigation.
I need to go to part 10 right now, viewers, because this is also very important, and Shravan, I need your help as I go through this. There is a charge which is being investigated against India Today as well. And again, India Today is under investigation. It is being probed along with one more channel. And there are some details which have now come in, and we need to look at those details. Essentially, the Hansa employee has confessed to the BARC vigilance team about cash for viewership. And there are details of money allegedly paid to panel households to watch India Today. And in the TRP report, there is this whole rate card and commissions allegedly paid to watch India Today. These form the basis of the ED decision, I presume, to investigate India Today in the TRP case. Right. And there is talk about an additional TRP meter which has been found in the home of the Hansa relationship manager. So there is this whole cash for viewership charge. A lot of this is already out in the public domain. And the implication is that Parambir's attempts to exonerate India Today overnight have failed. He should not have done so. The entire case built by Parambir, clearing India Today and targeting Republic, has reversed. India Today is under the ED scrutiny for allegedly in this cash for viewership. It is for them to explain to the ED. It is for the ED to look at that and decide what line it finally takes. But it's important to note that the BARC vigilance team was investigating similar complaints against India Today, against Times Now. It is all between them. Once again, I want to say that we have nothing to do with it. Who is Vishal Bhandari? We don't know. Now, he says in page number 47, he'd been approached by an unknown person and paid money to induce homes to watch India Today, that the BARC vigilance undertook field investigation with regard to India Today's abnormal viewership growth, that the abnormal viewership growth of India Today between mid-Jan 2020, mid-Feb 2020 is referred to in page number 46. In page number 46, it is also referred to that the BARC informed the vigilance team about the abnormal viewership growth of India Today. In page number 45, it says that Vishal Bhandari provided details of households wherein he had approached and paid for watching India Today. These are all things which are there in the ED report. Now, point here is, what has Republic got to do with it? Everybody watching this will say that all of this stuff is about statements taken which are part of the ED report, your references to Times Now, the references to India Today. Where does Republic, where does Parambir sneak in Republic? As I'm looking at all of this, I'm saying, where did we get into this picture?
Well, in fact,
and what are those panel households saying now, according to the ED report?
So, in fact, as far as Parambir Singh is concerned, he really thought he is the super cop. So it took him just about barely 4 hours to complete an investigation. Enforcement Directorate took 2 years to complete the investigation. So people should understand what really happened in those few hours. Now, it turns out there are basically 3 pages or no?
Yes.
Starting from page 45 here,
yes,
in which the Enforcement Directorate has put out full details of the statements that they have recorded. All the statements, mind you viewers, are all under section 50 of the PMLA, which means admissible before the court. Has far more evidentiary value, if I may say so. And here, we do not know who exactly this person is, but the statement has been recorded of Nitin Devkar, Deputy General Manager.
This is also in the ED report.
This is in the ED report. Page number 4, starting from page number 45, where the reference is made.
Yeah.
First reference of India Today actually is at the beginning of the charge sheet, but we are going into the details right now. This is where Vishal Bhandari admitted that he has been approached telephonically by a person named Vinay to convince 5 panel homes in Mumbai to watch India Today channel daily for 2 hours, and the said asked Vishal Bhandari was paid 5,000 rupees as
this
a commission.
This is also a statement recorded
All
under
of this.
Section 50 of PMLA.
All of this is all part of Section 50 of PMLA and the statement that has been recorded. Now, they also go on to say that Vishal Bhandari confession before the BARC team. BARC team, he has done this work of paying panel households for watching India Today channel for the period from November 2019 till May 2020. Here too, once again, Arnab, BARC was aware of it. BARC, in the case of Times Now, was also aware of it. In the case of India Today also, they were aware of it, that this is exactly what transpired. Let me just quickly move to page number 46, where once again, there is a mention of Times Now. Here they basically make a mention of the viewership pattern. And this is again by a statement of Head Vigilance Investigations, BARC statement recorded under Section 50, where he says, top 25 household panel was selected, wherein the higher viewership with respect of India Today channel was observed, and the above mentioned panel homes information was provided to Abhijit Mahandale for conducting panel home investigation. So there is a parallel that can be drawn, that once again, as far as India Today too, there was a field investigation that they were planning to carry out. We do not know whether at all there was any such investigation that was carried out or not. That is not, it does not find a mention. Again, Dharamveer Mahecha, who is the Head Vigilance and Investigations of BARC, once again makes a reference at page number 47. Now, this is what they say, second paragraph, I'm once again quoting. This, they make a mention, this is where they start making a mention of Times Now. But just a quick reference with regards to India Today group, where they are talking about the households, because as far as India Today is concerned, the first public reference that was made was almost a year back. This was also by the Enforcement Directorate in the provisional attachment order, where they put out full details of all the 32 households, the statements that were basically recorded. And this is the page where, starting from page number 34, where they begin the analysis of raw data viewers, because this is where they're looking into all the households. They're looking into the references that have been found of Republic TV and India Today, and they say relationship managers. They make a mention of relationship managers. So they are saying that there is no money that was given.
The point is, whatever is happening to India Today is none of my concern, and I don't want to comment on it. Though they said that we rigged the ratings, we were exposed, etc. I do not want to make subjective observations. But we've told India Today they want to talk about it, they can come to us, they can talk about it. Point is, all this information was surely with BARC and was surely through BARC with the Mumbai police, because the Mumbai police kept claiming that BARC is talking to us. So then they have all the information that is there with them. So BARC, Mumbai police talking to each other. Why did they not talk about India Today? Why did they drag Republic into it?
It's amply clear, or not through.
And not just this, the India Today, an India Today official is presently on the board of BARC. That raises questions about conflict of interest too.
That explains it.
And
we need these questions also answered.
And there is a parallel that one can draw, and this is that it turns out that in terms of India Today also, or for that matter Times Now, in both the cases, BARC was very well aware, and that they are making an admission. BARC officials are making an admission before the Enforcement Directorate. As far as India Today is concerned, they were aware of certain malpractices. They came to know that certain households were actually being paid, so they wanted to carry out a field investigation. As far as Times Now is concerned, they're saying that we have the video recording, and in those video recordings where there are malpractices, and field investigation has been conducted. Only difference as far as India Today is concerned, we do not know whether field investigations were carried out. But what is amply clear, one line, that is Mumbai police on the one side, and then led by Parambir Singh, and on the other side BARC. Both of them have colluded at one level or the other.
Now, what do I have to do with the fact that ED says Times Now irregularities need to be investigated, India Today needs to be investigated? That is up to them. They need to look at it, find out, deal with it, and decide how they want to move on. But I want to go to part number 11. Now, another accusation they put on us. Vikram Singh, they put out all kinds of allegations here now, and now time for introspection has really come. An important part which they had said about us is that Republic is number one because it does something called dual LCN. That we put our channel on double, multiple, triple, 4 frequencies, and we force people to watch us. That is the basic allegation that was put against us, technically. The dual LCN is done by a lot of channels as a marketing tactic. Sports channels do that, news channels do that, to occasionally market the channel. But does it impact viewership is the question. Exactly. The ED report says that it has no impact on viewership because BARC itself says it has no impact on viewership. The ED has rejected this ridiculous Parambir Vaze theory that Republic had hiked viewership using dual LCN. BARC has told the Enforcement Directorate on record that the dual LCN theory has zero basis. It says, page number 109, can you read that out, Rhythm? Page number 109, what does it say?
Yes.
It says that dual LCN is not a means of infiltration of BARC's panel home viewership. You can follow it up. You can follow it up.
It is
and
thus
as
found
such,
on investigation that if a channel is on dual LCN, the viewership of that channel cannot double. As such, BARC is of the view that dual LCN does not impact the accuracy or precision of BARC's audience viewership estimates. And therefore, Arnab, the same question, if the Parambir-led investigation was so keen to try and fix us, in 2 days they have conferences like Shravan is mentioning, then how are they going on the basis of this particular audit report and this particular dual LCN when in fact both the charges are put in the supplementary charge sheet, both the charges are now demolished?
And what it means is that the viewership of Republic Niranjan was genuine. What it basically means, Vikram saying, Subhash, Mamta, you're all intelligent people, Niranjan, you can take it from there, is that we had genuine viewership. We are not fixing the viewership. We are not forcing Mamta Kale to watch us. We are not giving Vikram Singh 500 rupees. We cannot buy out Subhash Jha. Rivals and industry bodies said that we were doing this, that we have so much money, we are paying everyone using dual LC and forcing people to watch us. The viewership was genuine because we are genuinely popular.
Yeah.
That's what it all means to me. Niranjan.
Arnab, we always believe and we say content is king.
Yeah.
And you just showed that that number of the first week rating. We were about 52%. 52%, and for our viewers, we were 52%, and the second channel was about 24-25%. Now, that was the case throughout, and it's also the same year, 2 months after we launched, when there were findings against these channels called Times Now and India Today, which I mentioned in the report, which are now under investigation. Arnab, real time. I'm telling you real time, Arnab. Anybody can check live streaming viewership of Republic TV vis-a-vis any other English news channel, and you will always see organically we have more viewers real time. And it's simple. We don't do any marketing. And by the way, there are many ways of even boosting that. But we are viewed real time. You can check our viewership, and I think at the end of the day, content wins. And if people watch us, that's only because of pure content, nothing else. The ratings came in, by the way, this morning, Arnab, if I can share the good news with our viewers. Ratings came in this morning, right? Ratings came in this morning, and the English-speaking markets, Arnab, people who watch television, 52% in prime time, 52% in prime time, Arnab. But I don't think we need to pay people 300 or 400 rupees to watch us for...
And I want to mention that what actually Niranjan is talking about, when the particular photograph that was just put up by Arnab was there, I was with Mr. Salve, we were in Hague at that time, and he said, ye to hona hi tha, because the kind of reporting and the kind of dedication with which Arnab is starting the channel, and I still remember he said, ye to hona hi tha.
Yeah.
So when advocates of that authority,
the people of India,
when they speak with that much conviction, it has to happen.
Yeah, explaining this out here, can I, Vikram Singh, what do you think about this? They said that we are trying to fix the ratings. Now, another statement comes here. This is not about Times Now, not about India Today. It says that you cannot fix ratings using a dual LCN. Dual LCN, Mr. Vikram Singh, is when a channel is running on two separate LCNs. That means two separate numbers. You switch on your TV, it will be on 616 and 611, something like that. It will be on two numbers. But even if that is done, it does not impact ratings. The rating agency says that. Now, the whole charge was that we have used it to fix ratings. BARC has said to ED that dual LCN is not a means of infiltration of BARC's panel homes viewership. There can be no further expert beyond BARC to make that point. Who else can make that point? Vikram Singh, who else
Absolutely.
can?
Arnab, let me tell you, when you have somebody as Paramveer being the commander-in-chief of investigators who can doubly become India's most wanted, what do you expect? absolute fixing and customization of evidence to fix Republic and fix you. You have really no competition, and in the sense, dual LCN strategy may have been a digression just to confuse the minds of the people and to give them something. Perhaps they probably thought that they would look up some dictionary or some thesaurus to understand what dual LCN would mean. But the bottom line is, it does not help anyone. Your ratings and your popularity, as has been brought about by Shavan just now, that if it exceeds 52%, then like McEnroe, you can say, now I won't speak, my racket will speak. You don't have to speak about yourself. Your ratings, your popularity speak for themselves, and that is where the problem lies, as Mr. Hari Salvi also said. Ye to hona hi tha. Or now is the time to see that this investigation was malicious and perverse. All the jargonized and all the technology they tried to inject into the investigation roadmap, perhaps with the idea that people would be not so street smart or perhaps tech savvy to understand that what the confusion is about. The ground reality and the conclusion is that they looked the other way when it came to another channel, and it came to your case, they put on the electron microscope, and with the sight of the electron microscopes and injecting all kinds of high-sounding names, dual LCN and others, they could not prove a point. The truth ultimately has a propensity of coming out, and coming out with a bang, and in your case too, the truth has come out with a bang. So Paramveer and his gang have failed miserably, and you have emerged triumphant.
I have a very important next point to go to. By the way, on dual LCN, my only point is that the whole angle has fallen apart. The BARC vice president has deposed before the ED, Subhash, that dual LCN does not impact the accuracy or precision of BARC's audience viewership estimates. The reason I'm going through these things very minutely, Subhash, is because they were, when one thing fails, another one's picked up, another was picked up, WhatsApp chat, this, that, everything is possibly picked up to build a case against Republic and me. Everything is falling apart now. Everything. This was probably the last of the cards that they had. That if a channel is placed on multiple LCNs, it will impact the viewership, and therefore you can say the channel is buying viewership. The ED says if a channel is placed on two multiple LCNs, the watermarks would be the same, thus capturing only one viewing at a time. One barometer can only record one watermark at a time, which means your channel can be on 1 million frequencies. Does not mean the viewership goes up 1 million times. It will still remain one. Because Subhash Jha can be live on 10 frequencies together. But one person can only see Subhash Jha at one time. It won't make it 10 Subhash Jhas.
Absolutely.
It's very logical.
Absolutely, Arnab. Look at the story of this. First of all, when I saw the first information report, the first information itself doesn't inspire any confidence. What about watching television installation of barometers? There are about 60,000 odd barometers all over the country. So these barometers are required to be installed in some of the houses on random basis. Now they are supposed to be watching a particular television channel, and this is all TRP scam is. Now therefore, what would be the electricity bill? I mean, when you make a story of 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 or lakh of rupees being paid, what about this 500 rupees and 2,000 rupees being paid? I mean, this sounds itself very ridiculous to me. How can you make a story? The electricity bill possibly would be much more than that if somebody watches television channel, a particular channel, for 24 hours or 18 hours in a day. So, I mean, I really wonder what kind of story is this. This is nothing but a cock and bull story, what is popularly known as.
I have on part number 12, which is important now, viewers. We have been live for almost 3 hours, getting a lot of feedback, and we get a few callers, please, also lined up. Many people are calling. Let's try a few callers in right now, viewers. This part is actually the one which causes concern because of it raises questions of a different nature. Abhishek, it says that the investigating officer in this case took a 25 lakh rupee cash bribe. Now, we all know you don't have to be a police officer or ex-police officer to know the implication of that. The ED's charge sheet indicates that BARC admitted to paying a bribe of 2.5 million rupees, 25 lakhs, to Sachin Waze in the TRP case. It further states that, and I quote, BARC officials handing over the bag has averred that the bag contained cash of rupees 25 lakhs. Further, it concludes, and I quote, it appears that illegal gratifications has been received by the investigator A of the Mumbai police. As a matter of serious nature, the same was referred to the CBI. On the 1st of July 2021, the outcome of the CBI investigation on the above said input is awaited for further action at this end. Abhishek, basically what this means is that the main investigating officer in this case, Sachin Waze, namely, took money from India's rating agency, 25 lakhs, in the course of the investigation. What impact does this have on the investigation when both the police and those providing the data are part of bribe giving and bribe taking? What impact does this have? Abhishek.
Arnab, we have to get somebody from BARC as well. They give compromised data. They are admitting to it that there is no impact of dual LCN and this bribe. From which account it was paid? How was it reflected in the books of accounts of BARC? Why they were doing it? What were they hiding really? What were they fearing really? I mean, at the top, they could have directly picked up a phone with the Mumbai Police Commissioner and said that your junior assistant police inspector by the name of Sachin Waze is asking for money. Why should we give if they were all clear? So there is an element of mens rea, a guilty mind. So far as Sachin Waze is concerned, you know, so many sections of the IPC and the Prevention of Corruption Act come to my mind, Arnab. And I believe somewhere the threads need to be picked up and go right to the top. Parambir Singh and maybe, you know, BARC also has to come clean, Arnab. Why they were not sharing data? I remember the days when you would be asking, please share the raw data with us. They were not doing it. They were not responding to emails. Is there a guilty mind somewhere there inside the BARC as well, Arnab?
You know, I want to explain, first of all, what we are putting out today. What we are putting out today is pure information that is in the ED report. And we have been very clear on this, that we are putting out what is in the ED report and it is in the public domain. Now, what does the ED report mention here? Can you just explain what is right there behind you in the form of a graphic? It's right there behind you, Shawan, if you look behind at that screen. It really shows the whole thing. Maybe you can tell our viewers what the report says out there about that bribe trail.
So basically, there is a admission that they are making. BARC is saying that they have paid the bribe.
Yeah.
So the role of BARC should also be investigated. In fact, in this charge sheet,
but they sort of make it out to be like paying the bribe was
it's
their
like
compulsion.
forced. Yeah, forced out, because they are saying.
But a bribe was paid.
Bribe was paid.
BARC is not saying we didn't bribe him.
They are very clearly
They are
stating.
giving a reason for bribing, but they are not saying we didn't bribe per se.
They are very clearly stating that we have been forced to pay a bribe of 25 lakh rupees. Whatever may be the fact, the question here is for BARC to also answer that if they were forced, why did they not come out in the open? So they had paid 25 lakh rupees. They said, BARC said that this money is going out of our system, so we need to put it out in at least in a book of accounts. They're showing it as some sort of a renovation work that is being carried out. Now, what the ED did thereafter was they had carried out certain searches, and look at how things basically turned out. It turned out that this man called Santosh Kotwal, he's the police inspector of CIU. The CIU is the very unit that was looking into it. They went all the way to Airoli in Navi Mumbai carrying this bag, what you see behind me. This particular bag containing papers related to a BARC investigation at a private place in Airoli, Navi Mumbai, stated that he has received a bag at the instructions of Sachin Waze. So Sachin Waze lies, his own colleague tells him that, okay, you go to Airoli, you will get one bag from someone from BARC, and in that bag, he does not reveal that there is money. He says there are some secret information, certain secret documents are there. Get me that particular bag. Now, Sachin Waze, at that point in time, takes the money, 25 lakh rupees from him, and tells the Mumbai police, his colleagues, that he's got secret information from BARC, and this secret information, if I remember correctly, he had told his boss, Parambir Singh, that I've done your job. The job was done.
Who said this?
Sachin Waze at that point in time very clearly mentioned this to Parambir Singh, because this was a clear hit job, because someone from within BARC was actually also helping Sachin Vaze, it turns out. And the big news, the big breaking news here is that ED has now made a declaration here saying that illegal gratifications have been received by the investigators of the Mumbai police as a matter was of serious concern. The same was referred to the Central Bureau of Investigation.
I also want to point out that Santosh Kotwal, the police inspector of the CIU of the Mumbai police, is the person who was recording the statements of Ghansham,
yes,
our assistant vice president of distribution. So we are raising this question that if a person carrying the bribe bag is the person investigating and framing Republic, right, and putting out this thing about 25 lakhs and carrying the money, then what remains of the credibility of this investigation?
It's in tatters.
What happens to the credibility of this investigation?
There is no credibility.
There is no investigation.
There is no credibility, there is no investigation. What becomes very clear right from day one, from the time the press conference was conducted by Parambir Singh, they all colluded. There was a group, that entire cabal came together. They all wanted to, their singular motive was to try and fix Republic Media Network.
Yeah.
Today it has become very clear that they were taking money for it, not only fixing us, for fixing, they are forcefully taking statements.
What
they
is
are not getting the
Parambir's
real
culpability in this?
Absolutely.
I want Vikram Singh, what is Parambir's culpability in this? If I don't know, my guests are live with us right now, but what is his culpability in this?
Arnab,
25 lakh rupee bribe, sir, in a bag, being carried by the investigating officer, by the police inspector, for the investigating officer.
Arnab, nothing shocks and surprises us any longer. Everybody is culpable, beginning from BARC right up to Santosh Kotwal, Sachin Vaze, who received the bribe amount, and everybody who is a part and privy of this so-called investigation. As you very rightly mentioned, there is no sanctity of the investigation left. This investigation was and will continue to be a big fuss, and I do hope somebody is watching your program and taking notes to ensure that a fresh case be registered against Parambir, Sachin Vaze, Santosh Kotwal and BARC for offering, giving and receiving bribes. This is a serious matter, and every ingredient of the Prevention of Corruption Act are complete in what the ED says. I do hope a fresh case is registered against all the key players and they are charged with this very, very sensational and brazen act of corruption.
What is the responsibility of the bribe giver? If the bribe giver says, I'm a victim, I'm forced to give the bribe, I don't want to give the bribe, but I'm forced to give it, then can that be taken at face value?
No, it cannot be accepted. He should have gone, and there are recourse available. Nobody can compel any person to do anything that is illegal, immoral and unacceptable. He can absolutely say no. How can anybody be forced? Law does not give this allowance to anyone, because anybody, you're probably referring to Santosh Kotwal,
yes,
or probably BARC, who can say
no,
that
I'm referring to the individual at BARC who took the decision to pay the bribe, who may say that this is a bad man, a dangerous man, he's blackmailing me, I'm forced to give him a bribe. Will that explanation hold?
Not at all, not at all. He had recourse to go to higher authorities, he had recourse to go to the courts, but this is totally unacceptable to offer, arrange bribe, giving in the guise, first arranging the cash from civil renovation, getting the cash complement, giving it to Santosh Kotwal giving it to Sachin Vaze. Everybody is complicit, and there is absolutely no defense to condone or corruption or look the other way. Everybody is complicit, all the three partners in the crime, as also Parambir. A fresh case needs to be registered and then question all of them again. What did they do with the money and where are those 25 lakhs?
Wow, this is, but you know, the document says that searches and the statements of concerned persons of these entities revealed that they have received an amount of around 30 lakhs from MS BARC through a circuitous route. So the route also has to be investigated, no?
Every aspect, Arnab, every aspect. How the money was raised by so-called civil renovation, then the money was raised in cash and then given to Santosh Kotwal. Santosh Kotwal gives Sachin Vaze. Sachin Vaze must have passed, and it is for Sachin Vaze to say he kept it himself or passed it on to Parambir and wherever. And the entire chain of this loot has to be identified, fixed, and a fresh case. That is why I'm recommending a fresh case needs to be registered, because whenever some authority comes across a statement on an information that discloses the commission of a cognizable offence, a fresh case has to be registered. This is the requirement of law 154 CRPC. And therefore, I strongly would recommend that under these circumstances, with such gross miscarriage of justice, investigation being thrown to the dogs, a fresh case of corruption has to be registered.
Viewers, the point being made right now is that in the charge sheet which has been filed by the ED, it categorically says, very clearly that there has been a bribe paid. There has been a bribe paid by BARC. Illegal gratification is the word which is used out here. That illegal gratification, it appears, has been received by Investigator A of the Mumbai Police. And this matter has gone to the CBI. But it is an institutional bribe. It's not an individual bribe, Subhash. It's an institutional bribe. People are calling us right now saying, what the hell is going on in this country? If an investigator is taking money, Abhishek, openly taking money, happily taking money, and the information provider is giving money to the investigating officer, this is a matter of another level altogether.
And taking money for what? What is BARC? What was BARC trying to hide by giving money? You give bribe either to take a service or to hide something. If you are not taking any service from Sachin Waze, what were you trying to hide? BARC is equally culpable Arnab, and there should be some investigation on that front, or at least BARC should come clean on why they gave money, from which account, from within their books of account. They were
they are talking about a circuitous route, reference to a cash route. Probably a cash route.
It was paid cash, how it was accounted for?
No, it is probably a cash route. Cash route.
Cash or no? Cash, you don't deal cash, 25 rupees of cash. You would have to reflect it in your books. 25 lakh rupees is not 25 rupees for chai. It's not chai biscuit kharcha which can be shown in cash. 25 lakh rupees is a lot of money.
It's a huge amount of money, and I think this becomes very, very critical part of this whole investigation. The investigation against Times Now, India Today will continue. Whatever needs to be done, that is another matter. But, that's a private organization. Whether they get a clean sheet, whether they're investigated, whether they are indicted is a different business. And we are not getting into that. But the question is, this is a public official. He's a uniform wearing individual. As of now, also in service, so he's been sacked. He's been sacked. He's
behind bars.
But why suspended? Why is he still? He's technically sacked.
He's sacked.
He's sacked. But the ED report, what would it mean for the citizen? Something like this information. Who are the guests who are live with us right now? Subhash, are you with us? I can't see the guests. On the left hand side of the screen, please, if I can have the guests. And my question is, what were the facts and the circumstances that necessitated a bribe to be paid, Deshratan Nigam, to the Mumbai police functionaries in the TRP case? Was BARC colluding with the Mumbai police, being harassed by it, or it wanted something hidden? Some lever the Mumbai police had on BARC, without doubt. Deshratan Nigam, you've been seeing our expose since morning. What do you think?
Arnab, let me congratulate you for your steely resolve and iron will. And your entire team also. The truth prevails. Truth cannot be buried for long, and ultimately it has surfaced. It has surfaced in such a brutal manner that others are scampering. And I've always maintained those people who were silent during the time when you were jailed and the Republic TV was being, unnecessarily being falsely implicated. Then I have always said that journalism is in danger. And therefore, please remember to all the journalists that when the crisis comes on one, everybody has to speak up. And if it doesn't happen, that it may happen to you tomorrow as well. The way the manipulation and the conspiracy that has been done, and at the level which it was done, politicians, police, other investigative agencies were involved at that point of time, and BARC too. The role of BARC becomes so important in a transparent TRP rating in a system where they seems to be the biggest culprit around. There are other channels are under investigation. Those issues are going. And you have to actually be very, very, wary of all these people. The people have to take into task. They have to, in fact, be punished and taken to a logical conclusion. It cannot be left in between because the level at which the people got involved, it's a very dangerous trend that they have set up. And they could not find any financial trail or any involvement of the Republic TV. And at the same time, the forensic audit clearly proved, the technical aspects also clearly proved, apart from other evidences, that the people who were involved had some nefarious ideas, have their nefarious strategies to silence a voice which was clear, transparent, and on the side of the truth. And I have always maintained that Republic is one of the few channels which speaks up. Even your panel that you have for discussion on various debates is a balanced one. It is not that like certain channels which have one person against three persons. So it's a channel which gives voice to everybody, and an effort was made to silence this channel. Once again, I will say and congratulate your team, yourself, for your, again I am using the word, steely resolve and iron will. Please keep it up.
Well, thank you very much for that, and for always, I must say, always standing by us at every point of time. Madhuvanti ji is joining in from Chennai. I'm also going to open up for a lot of callers right now. I can see that PKD Nambiar is there. It's not just about Republic being exonerated or observations being made on India Today or Times Now or an investigation on India Today. That's immaterial. The fact is that falsehoods were perpetrated. Bribes were taken and given between an investigating officer. So this is Madhuvanti, it talks about an attempt at institutional collapse. And had it not been for the intervention of the courts, the whole system was being held to hostage, taken to ransom, and being completely manipulated. I mean, if Republic could have gone through this, and it has taken us 2 years. 2 years to put this report out in the public domain. A lot of people calling us today. But what if this report weren't to come out, Madhuvanti? What if it would take 20 years? Then what?
Firstly, Arnabji, I'd like to congratulate you for being who you are. I appreciate you. I'm a big fan. More than being on your programs and debating, it's a fangirl moment that I'm here to celebrate the victory of Republic today. Because the day you were taken in, I told my family members, I said, these people have touched a live wire. And I said this not because of the political influences that you might have. That is not why I said it. I said it because you are a live wire who speaks the truth for this country. Be it Sushant Singh Rajput, be it the Palghar case, be it whatever. And I think the entire government, the previous government in Maharashtra, was getting very uncomfortable with what you were trying to do and expose the truth. So they tried to kind of slam as many things onto you, and they tried to shut down a channel, the only channel, in my opinion, in this country that speaks for the right causes, and right, pun intended. I'm not going to change that.
Yes.
Because it's about time that we start respecting the fact that this country has millions of Hindus living here who need their rights and their respect to be upheld. I mean, as much as we support the minorities and as much as we are a secular nation, we need to support the majority of people living in this country, and you are the only channel that does that. And having said that, this whole expose, I mean, I am shocked. I've been seeing on and off all the tweets that Republic has been putting up from the morning. And I'm shocked to see absolutely, supposedly reputed media houses having just peddled lies about Republic. How can journalism become so abysmal, get to this depth of disgrace and peddle lies about another channel? I do not understand how they call themselves senior journalists. Well, I am used to it because here in Tamil Nadu, every single channel, every single newspaper peddles lies. So I'm completely used to it here. It's nothing new for me in Tamil Nadu or Chennai. But having said that, on national television, a channel of high repute conducts debates and tries to malign you, tries to peddle lies, tries to put out fake news. Where are they all today? In fact, I remember when we debated a couple of days ago, you brought out the report, and I was on the debate when you brought out the report and you said, we've been given a clean sheet. And I remember telling you that night that we need to debate on this as to why no other channel is even opening their mouth now. And where is the Lutyens media? Where is the Khan Market gang? Where is everybody? Why is everybody keeping completely silent? Why is nobody even putting out a tweet congratulating you or Republic other than the general public of this country? Because the nation is with you. Because we always want to know the truth. And you believe in that, which is why we all stand by you and say the nation wants to know. So we're very, very proud and happy that this has happened. And I think more such exposés should come out. And I think legal action should be taken against channels and journalists of repute who try to do such kind of malignment. I mean, I'm shocked. And I'm glad you brought this out. And keep it up, Arnabji. We are all with you. We are all with you in this war.
Well, thank you very, very much out here. Thank you so much. We have PKD Nambiar with us. PKD, overall, let me bring you into part number 13. Right now, we're going to go live. Sujata Pandey is with us. Rahul Roy is with us. I'm going to go live, if I can, quickly to outside Parambir's house. I hope he replies. I'm told he's not gone out since morning. The whole country, has he gone out?
Has for the last 3 days. From the time...
For the last 3 days, he's not stepped out of his house. What is he worried about? Being confronted by Republic?
I don't think so. I don't think so. He ever expected our reporters to actually question him. But
Why not? Why not?
Because he thought he'll get away. He always has this impression that he can perhaps get away with anything and everything. And that's exactly what has happened here too. We've been asking these questions. In fact, if he's watching, and if I'm not wrong, he would be watching.
100%
he would be watching because he would be worried. He would be worried at the end of the day. All that he was trying to do has fallen like a pack of cards right now.
But he's got to face the law. He's got to really face the law right now. He fudged, he fabricated, his lies are in the open. He tried to do a hit job. His team took bribes, which means essentially there's a moral culpability on the individual also for the bribe taking. We've tracked him down, last location in Mumbai. His deceit and fabrication in the open. He's a disgraced cop. He's a suspended cop. But whether he's disgraced, suspended, tainted, the fact is he concocted a case and he just made it up in 4 hours, PKD. He made it up in 4 hours. So I've said today, we've not fought for ourselves, we fought for the people of this country. And we won. It's a victory for the people. It's not a victory for Republic alone. PKD.
Let me tell you that today, I'm not going to, unlike many of the other panelists, I would not like to put all the words in one word, that congratulating you and your team.
Yeah.
I don't think a leader don't require to be congratulated. A leader's life is always of victory every day and challenges. I would rather say, let the enemy speak what they wanted to. And that shows that your importance, your voice is heard loud and clear in front of everyone. So the idea is that a couple of years back, in fact, it was not a very completely praising, I was not praising you completely. I wrote an article on you saying that brand Arnab Goswami. So in that I was just telling that you can like him, you can dislike him, you can hate him, you can love him, but then you cannot ignore him. So what happens in this whole exercise of this last 2 years, or maybe more than that, is that a section of the people, wherein I visit every day almost in multiple shows, they were not able to digest the fact there is somebody who is becoming suddenly a hero, and that hero is being celebrated by anyone and everyone, irrespective of movies are made on you as a character and etc. यार कैसे बर्दाश्त करेगा यार? आप समझ लो 20, 25, 30, 40 साल से वो लोग धंधा कर रहे हैं, नौकरी कर रहे हैं, किसी न किसी तरीके से अचानक एक बंदा आके, वो भी आसाम से, वो हिंदी ठीक से इतना अच्छा बोल नहीं पाते, मेरे जैसे मैं केरलाइट हूँ, दिल्ली में रहता हूँ, बट इतना अच्छा हिंदी नहीं बोल पाते, बट बंदा छा रहा है, people are loving him, they just simply wanted to hear him out, so on and so forth. How will that be digested? So people will do. But today, your questions, you are not supposed to do a show only in a television studio. You are a leader, you move out on the street and do tell the people. You are a person, you may be one of the very few television anchors or a television personalities who will be able to connect with the people and the general public. It is not just for a selfie, you will be able to communicate with them. I think if I was at your place, I would have been going all across the country, all the major cities, and doing public programs and exposing those. I'm not worried about the TRP scam or what, because I'm a professional from the same industry. I run an advertising and marketing and media agency for a recently successful agency. I know that just a TRP is not the one thing which will gives me an is not the one which will make me take a decision into to whom I should be giving an business or to do an advertisement, or for that matter to whatever I wanted to do with them. We have intelligence in our own mind that yes, where I wanted to place my brand. I know as an agency or as a when I represent a client, I know that Republic is the place where the people are going and watching. I will put my money there. But just having an enmity and envying you should not be taken you should not be landing up in the jail. I think this is not good for as media, as an industry. This is not good for our democracy. This is not the way we wanted the business to function in this country. And when we say that the media is the fourth pillar of our democracy, where all these people have gone? I have asked offline couple of people here. I think this is one thing which, okay, you have attacked him, you have done shows on him, you called on his names, but when he is out of it, isn't it your responsibility to come out and put one statement saying that yes, he has come out. Forget about it. It's just the news. I'm not saying that they have to come and give you a praise. They just come out and just like any other news, this should also be a news in all the other channels. Why is it not? I think you need to question those people, not just on the television channel, not only on your prime television, only on your network. Let it be on the ground. Let the people who are just working only with a narrated, with a clear agenda of opinionated, not the objective journalism, should be answering not to you, to the country as a whole.
I think, and you know, what I feel really uncomfortable about, Sujata, is that some people think that this is going to pass if you don't focus on it, Niranjan. Yeah. That's what's happening, right? They said our accounts will be seized. Yeah. They said they arrested us. They gave a clean sheet to others who are now facing investigation. You know, they said that we are cheats. Yeah. They said we are running hawala operations. They said that they said that our earnings are proceeds of crime. And when they said all that, and those organizations said all that, and they said that with their own thoughts and their own conviction, and today they just feel that they don't need to talk about it. And even Parambir is doing the same thing. So what does that tell you, Niranjan? It's inappropriate. It just baffles me. We've shown that if you're, how can you do that? Well, I mean, if I were to put out an absolute falsehood, and that falsehood were to be proven absolutely untrue, right? Then I would go on air and say I was wrong. It doesn't make you a smaller or a greater individual, but of course that's their editorial liberty.
Maybe even apologize.
Maybe apologize,
which they possibly need to do if they
instead of digging their heels in. Yes, please.
Arnab, we've shown facts, we've shown the data in the table to show the raw data of what was happening then and what they showed, and how Republic and Republic Bharat were 0-0, right? In the data.
I'll show it.
Can we please show that?
The pictures so we can see that.
It's here. The reason why I want to show this, Arnab, because Mr. Parambir Singh, the world's greatest IPS officer, threw a number that day, and I remember every word, Arnab. He said,
can we have the picture of him giving an award?
Yes, we have that picture somewhere. I'm going to add that picture. I'm going to share that picture.
Look at that number, 0-0.
Look at this number. It's on the screen right now. Okay, let me speak over that. Now, that's the raw data of what was actually found with the Bark data dump. What did Mr. Parambir Singh do, the greatest police officer of all times? He threw a figure, Arnab, in the news conference. He said the advertising revenue, he said channels make 10,000 crore rupees, so much. He threw numbers. I don't think he even knows what the broadcast industry is like.
How much it earns, so where it earns.
He had no idea. He just wanted to come and create a sensation. And if there's one person who manipulated facts and today he's running away, Arnab, I want to tell you, we were there when we saw him run away last Saturday. He was so ashamed. He didn't want to show his face. He had the shield to his left. He was wearing a mask. He was looking down. We asked him questions for 3 full minutes. He was stuck in a traffic jam. He didn't have the courage to just look up and look at our reporter in the eye and look at him there giving Sachin Vaze and that is Kotwal, Arnab, there is Santosh Kotwal to the right of Sachin Vaze.
Is he the one who carried the?
No, I remember him because he was there. He was there.
You remember?
Arnab, I want to tell you an anecdote, and I'm really sorry because I'm remembering a lot of memories coming back.
No, please go
the man there, the officer, I don't know whether he's an officer, whether he's serving, but Santosh Kotwal to the right. Sachin Vaze and Santosh Kotwal basically ran the crime branch, and the man to the left, the officer to the left of Sachin Vaze, to the left of Parambir Singh, was a senior officer.
Who questioned you? Who summoned you when you were
the entire team was
Sachin
there.
Vaze also.
Sachin Vaze was there. Santosh, this Kotwal guy was there, and then there was this other officer who was actually the ACP, if I'm not wrong, Shawan, the one with a little bit of a red hair. He had died. Yeah, he was the senior officer of the crime branch. And just before I went into the room, Arnab, before the questioning began, this officer, and I'm sticking my neck out, this officer came to me and said, "I'm really sorry. I don't agree with whatever's happening, but you know that we are working under pressure." He told me, Arnab, and this is exactly what we reported. Shawan, I remember sharing that story with you. We reported exactly the same, that there was a divide in the Mumbai police. Officers did not agree with what was happening. And when we reported that, they filed a case under a law which is 100 years old that the British invented against to fight a mutiny.
Yeah.
And all our journalists face the FIR.
And page 110 mentions the Bagh bribe. Can you read that out, Rhythm?
Yes. Like you're mentioning, the people I'm talking about
read it out in
Santosh
detail.
Kotwal.
Let people know what's going on.
It says, further, a complaint dated 24th March 2021 received from Bagh that they were forced to pay a bribe of 25 lakhs to Shri Sachin Vaze, API Mumbai police, to escape from undue harassment in the TRP case investigation. Then the man that Niranjan was just speaking about, his name comes up. The money was received by Shri Santosh Kotwal, Police Inspector, CIU Mumbai Police in Airoli, Navi Mumbai. On being confronted, he admitted having received a bag allegedly containing papers relating to Bagh investigation at a private place, and further stated he received the bag at the instructions of Sachin Vaze and handed over the same to Sachin Vaze in his cabin. Bagh officials...
In his cabin?
In his cabin.
He took the money in cash and handed over 25 lakhs in his cabin. Sujata, are you hearing this? Sujata, this is what is happening in Mumbai, Sujata. In our city of Mumbai.
Right. So that is why, Arnab, I say this TRP manipulation case is not, between you and the rest of the media.
No.
I think it is between the people of India and the corrupt system that was created, the ecosystem, I would say. It had policemen, the higher rank officials who were corrupt, who were working on the behest of their masters. It had politicians, it had certain section of the media houses, and it had an entire propaganda working against you. But I think it was clear then, and it is clear now, that the people of India are with you. Because Arnab, I've traveled to the remotest part of the country, and I can tell you the remotest part of North India, where people don't really speak and understand much of English, they watch you. I have traveled to the southern part of the India, where people don't really speak or listen to channels which are other than their linguistic channels, but they watch Republic. So it was, to me, it was always a non-brainer. But this entire case, is just not about this the police and the politician. I think Bagh has also come into scanner. Being from a marketing, I've been a brand head of a big MNC, and it is a scam. It is just not a scam. I would say it is a cheating for on the basis of the advertisers, because we see the Bagh ratings, we see the TRP ratings, and then decide which channel would get the highest number of ads. So it is also a cheating with the advertisers, with the advertising, the media agency, and of course the people of India, because you are manipulating the information which is available in the public domain. And people thought that they were so drunk on power that they can manipulate it and they can get away. But as they say, Satya pareshan ho sakta hai, lekin parazit nahi ho sakta.
Absolutely.
So I think the truth has come out shining, and how. And I must congratulate Arnab. I think everybody has said this, that there's a song, right? Like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
I think your entire team is a testimony to that, because I remember Everybody,
Yeah.
every journalist, yeah, you know, they were like working like family. They were standing, and I'm a Mumbaiker, and we were feeling this is not right. Why is this channel making to go through all these ugly questions? And they were looking at with the doubts. They were blocked. They were harassed. And don't forget, Arnab, they were not just the employee, but also their families. I think they're part, being an extended part of the republic. Their families must have also gone through a lot of trauma. I mean, who's answerable for them? Because, you know, I'm sure their relatives would have asked them, or their friends would have asked them. They would be suspicious about,
Yes,
oh, this channel would close, or what will happen. I think nobody deserves that kind of system in a democratic system, because you are actually fiddling with the fourth pillar of democracy. It's dangerous.
Yeah. You know, if I can get in Rahul Roy also, please. Rahul Roy, you've seen the whole picture. The big picture for us, Rahul, is that every accusation has been torn apart in detailed facts. The people who are claimed to be witnesses don't exist as witnesses against Republic. The evidence which was talked about as evidence against Republic does not exist. It's evidence, but it's against others, not Republic.
Right.
So I've been saying from morning, where did we come into this?
Right. It's a straight line. It's a victory for the truth over lies. And it's a victory of good over evil. And I strongly believe, as the other speakers said, it's a victory for India. It's a victory for your global viewers who believe in your firmness, your honesty, integrity, and the entire channel and this broadcast world you have created with such great content and subjects which you pick on is a challenging for your competitors. It's not that I'm surprised by coming to India for last 20 years that your competitors will be shaken. And the reason why they will be shaken, because you are the only channel who picks on all these challenging subjects, which needs guts, which needs strength, and which needs an open mind. While the other ones, they play a pretty passive role, and when there's a clarity on that subject, then they all jump on. And I've been watching that. Your channel picks up a subject which may not be matured, but you take on that challenge and do your proper investigation. Your journalists and your reporters do a fantastic job, and you come up with the evidences and the information which the system needs and the people need to know. So when you say the nation wants to know, that fits right into your profile and your fundamentals of your channel. And that's the reason your popularity worldwide is being multiplying. And you have so many excess of appreciation and a pat on your back and of your team that the entire global viewers salute you. And I am personally so proud of you and your team that this channel at least gives us the assurance and the belief that India is in a right path. Our political system, our civil systems, all the challenges what we face is managed by a channel who sees through. And if you don't have a channel like yours, who's going to correct the errors of your system? So Arnab, like the other speakers said, you're not just a simple anchor. You are a leader, and I've been saying that to you. And you are a leader for this country who needs you now more. As the new gen looks up to you to live in a world which is cleaner, non-corrupt, and a global competitor in our products, in our business, in our defense, from every nook and corner. So you need a channel to support the youth, the future of this country. And that is the reason, from the bottom of my heart, I congratulate you and your spouse and the entire team and all your well-wishers and all the world audience that you have not proven your integrity and your truthness, but also expose the other channels who get indulged in this kind of a crime. And the system needs to learn from you and your reporters that this will not continue the way it has been continued for ages. This is a new India. The people, the new gen is different. They don't believe in this kind of corruption. They don't believe in this kind of manipulation. What they believe in a clean, transparent media. And again, I'm so proud of you. And I believe every word your all well-wishers have said. And I bless you all.
Thank you.
And let's together build a greater nation, a greater India for our current and future generation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rahul Da, for your support. And as of this minute, viewers, as of this minute, we have too many calls lined up. And we have Kaushik Ganguly is calling in from Kolkata. Kaushik, good afternoon. Have you been watching?
Hi, Arnab. Yes, good afternoon. And I think we are speaking in a very small span of time once again.
Yes.
I was the one who missed the plane, right, to meet you, if you remember.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I remember that.
You know, Arnab, you know, this, I mean, yes, the law is going to take its due course of action and everything is going to come up and the truth will prevail. We know it from the day one since this has come up and we have stuck by Republic TV and you especially across all these, you know, months. A couple of points, I just want to keep it very brief because we have our honored guests on the show. Number one is, I think the head honchos behind this conspiracy, they have to be, you know, brought to the court and they have to be, you know, taken, you know, to the particular course of action and they need to come out and they have to be legalized on this.
Yeah.
Secondly is that I think today, with this BARC report, it is so evident that we can now distinguish. I mean, when I say we, I'm talking about people who are still in dilemma. I believe they can distinguish now between the journalism and the fake journalism.
Perfect. But that's my intention. That's my intention, Kaushik. I'm putting the facts out. I have no subjective opinion, but people do understand. Brojen Bora is calling in from Assam. Brojen, where are you calling from in Assam?
Yeah.
Brojen, just reduce your audio of your TV set so that it's just mute it so that I can hear you without an echo.
Namaskar, Arnab ji.
Namaskar. Can I say?
Namaskar. This victory always prevails.
Yes.
Victory cannot stop.
Yes. Absolutely.
That your father, Colonel Mananjan Goswami, is known to me personally. He was a very honest person.
Yes.
Your background is an army background, so Indian people cannot think that you are going to take money. You are going to give money for this TRP.
Yes.
I don't believe it.
Yes.
Even I cannot take food, but I watch Republic TV.
Oh, I'm so happy. That's my connection with you, Brojinda. Lokpam, I will come and meet you maybe when I come to Guwahati next time. Thank you, Brojinda. Thank you. So many callers, so much love. Advaita Kala is calling in. This is becoming a tsunami of reactions, Advaita. It's, you know, of course, there's stuff on India Today, it's stuff on Times Now, but for me, that's not important. There's stuff on the bribery. The bigger thing is about us and how this says there was evidence fabricated against us. The data did not exist. Now that the raw data comes out, a completely different picture emerges from what Parambir was claiming and from what some Latvian channels were amplifying for the last 2 years. Advaita, what do you think? I think it's a larger issue here, not just a Republic-related issue.
Absolutely, it's a larger issue, and I'm really here as a news consumer, and it's frightening, Arnab. The word is scary. Like you just mentioned, that it took this cop 4 hours to conjure up something that has haunted your channel and you personally for 2 years. Despite your platform, despite your voice, despite being the most well-known journalist in the country, it has haunted you for 2 years. And I cannot imagine what an ordinary person would go through if they spoke true to power and what they go through. We've seen so much protest over dubious financial dealings of channels and saying, freedom of the press and this and that and the other, and all kinds of campaigns and press conferences. But where are people speaking up for this? This is so clearly malafide. Why isn't the journalistic or the press community coming forward? This isn't about you today. You're very rightly in saying that it isn't about you. It is about freedom of the press. It is about saying that there may be a perspective, there may be reportage, but you cannot manufacture proofs, so to speak, and victimize people on the basis of that. That is not what a democracy stands for. And I think we all need to take this very seriously and be, frankly, a little frightened by what has happened. Remember, when they arrested you, the channels were tipped off. When has that ever happened? The channels were tipped off and it was being covered live. That was the first sign that something was amiss. Why couldn't they have, if they had to take you into custody, why was there this whole press coverage involved? Why, and then take you into custody in what way? It was meant to send a message, drag you, assault your son, make a big scene 24/7 on TV so that the ordinary viewer can watch it. And you know what the subliminal message was? You can be Arnab Goswami, you can have a big platform, you can have a loud voice, but this is what we can do to you if you take on power. And I think that was a very scary message to send out to people. So I'm actually very happy that, you're seeing the other side of this. Your team, which was investigated one by one, is seeing the other side of it. But I think the public, us, the viewing public, the news consuming public, should look at this very seriously and demand corrective measures.
Yeah, absolutely. Advaita, coming to you right in a bit. We also have Delhi-based advocate Ravi Sharma, who's a very well-known criminal lawyer, joining us right now. Ravi, you are seeing the charge sheet. I'm sure you've seen 138 pages, or at least the critical parts of it. Now, it emerges that the witnesses did not exist, the evidence did not exist. So where were we dragged in? It also emerges there was some internal investigation of Bark on Times Now, about which was held back from the authorities. It emerges that the raw data was never looked at. India Today's name comes in. There's a bribery charge on Sachin Vaze. So this report is not just about being a final TRP report. I think it should be the start of a criminal investigation, because it can't just be about Republic being correct. It should also be about who were involved in the concoction of the charge itself, Ravi.
Arnab, the manner in which you were hounded, or not just you, the manner in which the entire crew of Republic TV was hounded last year, is, it's quite is quite apparent. And we all watch news. We all saw what went into it. And I'll tell you what you have just said is, if you've read the judgment of Nambir Narayan, that scientist, he was harassed and the Supreme Court granted him compensation. I'll request you, Arnab, to file a writ petition, ask for inquiry. Simply because you, as a journalist, ask inconvenient question to someone, to powers that be. Any police officer, any Paramveer Singh can come and do a press conference, can put you under jail. That's a mockery of constitution, and it's very good that ED and independent agency, you should understand this, Arnab. ED and independent agency has mocked the investigation that was carried out by Paramveer Singh and his team.
Completely done that, but what about Paramveer now? What about Sachin Vaze? What about their criminality?
Obviously, you should file a writ petition asking for investigation and Paramveer Singh. Your rights were undermined. This man put you in jail for only because you asked his master some inconvenient questions. You should, and I'm advising you, you should file a writ petition.
Is there possibility? Hundreds and thousands of people calling me right now saying, make this a case of malicious prosecution.
Don't file a case for malicious prosecution. No, I'm telling you, your liberty was taken away, your free speech was scuttled. File a writ petition, invoke the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. The obligation is on state to protect you. It's the state which violated your fundamental rights.
I absolutely.
Of malicious persecution.
Okay, that's very serious advice coming in from Ravi, who's a criminal lawyer, and I'm going to be coming back to you, Ravi, in a minute. Janvi Kaushik calling in from New Delhi. This is the time for callers, viewers. Janvi. Hello, Pratibha Prahlad is joining us. Hello, Pratibha, but Janvi, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi,
Yes,
Janvi.
sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Thank you.
And first of all, congratulations to all the Republic team.
Yes, we are all one team.
Yes, sir. And I just want to say that you should file a case against them. And you would get justice. And today is a big day for the viewers also and for you also. Because the way you were arrested was very wrong. And I just want to say that you should take steps against them.
I really think, Janvi, so many people are telling us that don't let go, Arnab. Don't let go. Don't let this be about today's victory. Make it bigger. Involve us. People are calling Advaita right now. Sanika is with me here. She's one of our very close colleagues and senior news editor of Republic. She was one among many, many people who had a case concocted against her as well. We all did. Sanika, what do you think about this today? It's becoming bigger than just our victory. As a senior member of our news desk, what would you like to say?
Arnab, it's more than vindication. It's also about the criminal conspiracy, and in fact the conspiracy that was hatched against Republic, because Arnab, if you remember 2 years back, we've all gone through it,
Yes.
gone through this torture. I can't think of any other word but torture that we went through, the harassment for many months that we went
did,
through.
our families did.
Yes,
Everyone
absolutely,
did.
absolutely. There was so much anxiety in the newsroom as well when there was case after case that was being
Policemen
filed.
walking in, walking out.
Yes, there was case after case that was filed against us. Hundreds of young journalists. Arnab, we can tell our viewers that we are a very young newsroom.
Absolutely.
Average age of the newsroom is probably 25.
Yes.
We're very driven and we believe in the work that we do in our newsrooms. So when there was case after case, there was a lot of anxiety. And everybody knew in the newsroom that we're not doing anything wrong, but we are being harassed for it. So, but we've crossed the bridge. We've come out victorious, and now it's more about the criminal conspiracy and the kind of evidence that we have right now in the TRP report. It sort of vindicates us, and it sort of tells our viewers that the faith that they had reposed on us during that time when we were fighting the case
was
is
never
absolutely
shaken. Was never shaken.
Yes,
and which is why the difference between us and other channels is that we have no malice towards them.
Absolutely.
We don't feel angry about what they did, but they must introspect. I'm going across to so many supporters. Abhishek is there with us, and I want to go across to Pratibha Prahlad, is firm supporter of Republic. This has become a society. It's more. It's not about Republic. I'm going to send you a scanned copy of this, Pratibha. I'll send it to you, Advaita. I need your help, Deshrata Nigam. You all have a social media presence. Put it out. My request to you is put it out. Because, Pratibha, a lot of the media is not putting it out because they are feeling it's good for Republic. It's not good for Republic. I have been saying since this morning it's good for all journalists in this country. It is not easy for Republic to fight a state government and a police machinery. But if we can win, then all of us can win, Pratibha. I don't know. This matter needs to go to that level of conversation. Pratibha Prahlad.
Arnav, I just want to tell you that today you stand vindicated, and I congratulate you for that. But what I want to tell you is exactly what you've been saying, all this while, that a vibrant, independent, credible media is necessary for democracy, for a healthy democracy. We can't live in a dystopian world where a media house is manipulating, the public for its own TRPs. That means that it's not acting in public interest, it's acting in self-interest. And we can't live in a world where, people are manipulating, the corporates are manipulating the media houses to get the TRPs, rates higher. So basically what I want to tell you is that the stand that you're taking, that an independent, fearless media is necessary for a healthy democracy, is the correct stand. And I congratulate you for that, Arnab. I respect you for that. Because today, what we are seeing is that, corporates are owning these media houses. They are, indulging in all kinds of malified means to raise their TRPs. And then on the basis of those TRPs, they're trying to go after their competitive media houses. Like, you're a competitor 2 times now. So they went after you. And that was so unfortunate. And we saw that whole drama being played out, in front of the public for months and months, while you were even taken to jail. I mean, it was ridiculous. The kind of manipulation that these people resorted to. So Arnab, I always say that for a healthy democracy, you need an independent media house, you need a credible media, and
Absolutely.
you need people who give out information not for self-interest but in public interest.
Yes,
and that is
and I'm grateful
most
for
imperative.
that. You see, I'm grateful to you. I'll tell you, I don't go out of my studio much, but I'm grateful to you, Adwaita. I'm grateful to Deshratan Nigam, who's my senior from Hindu College. I'm grateful to Ravi, who I've had the pleasure of working with professionally as well, to Sanika, to Abhishek, Aishwarya, Rhythm, Shawan, who gets these colleagues, who gets this kind of a team. We have Brigadier Vijay from Bengaluru who's calling us right now. Brigadier, big day for us.
Yeah, Arnab, this is Brigadier Raghavan from Bangalore.
Brigadier Raghavan, hi, how are you? Good to hear you.
It's such a long time,
yes, sir.
Arnab. What a day it's been, what a day. At last, it has come out in black and white. I'm very happy for you, Niranjan, and the entire team out there.
Sir.
You all have done a wonderful job. I myself wondered, how did you put up with all this nonsense when they were just catching you with the scruff of the neck in your house and pulling you out and putting you with the goons there.
Yeah.
Full justice, Arnab, will be done only when this Param Veer is not a peer or a veer. He's a disgruntled and a disgraced man in uniform has to come out clean. The least he can do is come out and apologize and tell the nation who's behind this.
Absolutely.
Also, the day is supposed to look in India Today and Times Now. Both the channels, I understand from the detailed report I am reading that they paid their commission agents and also paid bribe to the viewers to ask them to watch it so that the television rating points go up. As a layman, I never knew what TRP stood for. But following the Republic News channel...
Abhishek had a word for it today, Brigadier Raghavan. Abhishek has a new acronym for it. Abhishek, you want to share that, what TRP now stands for after today's report?
Yeah, very much would love to.
Abhishek?
I didn't follow it. What is the real picture?
The real picture.
The real picture, he says. He calls it the real picture. And Navina is calling in from Hyderabad. Navina.
Yeah, it is so great to talk to you, Arnab.
Thank you.
The previous issues also I wanted to talk to you, but of course, bad luck couldn't connect. Okay, but it's a great job done by you. We know that you are clean and clear, but this is actually the factual thing which you need for evidence. As an evidence, it has come forward. But you are clear before that itself. And one more thing, I would like to how you are cleaning up the system. In the same way, you should open a channel in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh also. There are a lot of...
We should.
You know that.
Yes, we should. We will. We will, but we are we don't have any big corporate backing us. We're just a group of journalists running a channel, so we don't have that kind of money. But money is not the fact. We will go into Andhra, we'll go into Tamil Nadu, we'll go to the south. We have to go to the south. We're planning it. We'll have to just make sure it happens. And at that point of time, I want to thank everyone, and I want to tell you that I'm going to be back around 7 o'clock. We've been live for about 4 hours right now. Tremendous support across the country. The real TRP scam has come out. I thank you, everyone, and we have a lot more at 7, ladies and gentlemen. This is a non-stop broadcasting day. I congratulate my entire team across Delhi, across Kolkata, across the country, and of course here in India's financial capital. And I shall see you in just a couple of hours. Till then, only for now. I'm not even going to say goodbye. See you soon.
Amity faculty have filed over 1,600 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
The Central Bureau of Investigation sleuths visited Karnataka Congress President D.K. Shivakumar's properties at his native in Ramanagara district and verified the documents related to them. Now, CBI had filed an FIR against Shivakumar in the disproportional assets case. Supporting the ban on PFI and its 8 affiliate organizations, Tripura CM Makin Saha has lauded the centre for taking this step. Now, the Chief Minister of Tripura said that this was essential for the integrity of the country.
देश का अखंडता के लिए ये होना बहुत जरूरी है
और इनके बारे में बहुत दिन से चर्चा हो रहा था। तो आज ये घोषणा हुई है, इसीलिए मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। त्रिपुरावासी की तरफ से मैं हार्दिक शुभेच्छा मैं कहता हूँ होम मिनिस्टर को, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को। बहुत ही अच्छा। कौन कहता है? जो कहता है वो देश को नहीं मोहब्बत करते हैं, ये लोग कहता है। जो देश को मोहब्बत करते हैं कभी नहीं कहेंगे ये चीज़।
Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will meet Sonia Gandhi today. The agenda of the meeting is said to be the solution of the ongoing internal politics in the state of Rajasthan.
मिलूंगा कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट से, सोनिया जी से, उसके बाद में मैं बात करूंगा आपसे।
Senior party leader A.K. Anthony met party interim president Sonia Gandhi in the national capital and discussed political matters. Now, reportedly, the senior party leader Digvijaya Singh could also throw in his hat into the presidential polls contest and is likely to arrive in Delhi. In a development in the Gyan Bapi case, the Varanasi court is set to hear an application moved for scientific investigation of the shivling by the ASI.